Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching, yes, the Yankees Entertainment and Sports Network.
No, this is not the scene of a Lions game. About a half hour ago, it was snowing here in Detroit. But that weather is blown through, and it is time for baseball as Benjamin Moore presents the Wednesday game of the week. Tonight, it's the New York Yankees against the Detroit Tigers in Game 3 of a 4-game set from Comerica Park in Detroit, Michigan. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Yankees Baseball, along with Paul O'Neill and John Flaherty. I'm Michael Kane. Yankees evened up the series last night with a 5-2 win. Another good starting performance, this one by Nathan Eovaldi. But the difference between Eovaldi and CC Sabathia, Eovaldi got some offensive help, particularly from Chris Young.
Well, Chris Young, since the beginning of the year, has got off to a great start. I mean, on a team where you wonder where some of your offense is going to come from, Chris Young has stepped up and done a great job. Hit his 4th home run last night, a grand slam in Tampa Bay. The more he hits, the more at-bats he's going to see from manager Joe Girardi.
And he is in the lineup again tonight, hitting over 300 since he came to the Yankees in September. Just a great turnaround for Chris Young. Tonight's pitching matchup brought to you by People's United Bank. See what know-how can do. Adam Warren gets the start for the Yankees. David Price, he's the ace right now for the Tigers. And, John, the Yankees have had some success against a really good pitcher.
Well, they have, Michael, but David Price, so you see the numbers there, has gotten off to a red-hot start. Has only given up 1 earned run in 3 starts, and he attacks you out on the mound. Loves his fastball, will come right at you. You see the numbers right there. The Yankees have done a good job against him, especially last year, the batting average over 330. We'll see if that continues tonight.
So the Yankees try to take 2 of the first 3 with this game tonight. There's a finale tomorrow afternoon. Chris Young has been a big part of it, as Paul told you about. You'll hear from him in just a moment, and Meredith Marakovitz will further break down his hot streak next, right here on Yes.
On a frigid April evening. Hey everyone, I'm Meredith Marakovitz. Chris Young had another successful night offensively. He was 3 for 3 with 2 walks. He had a solo shot to lead off the 7th inning, his 4th home run of the season. Not to mention he was just a triple shy of hitting for the cycle. Chris Young wasn't really sure what to expect as far as playing time was concerned coming into the season. He wasn't expected to be a part of the everyday lineup, but still, he found a way to produce at the plate.
Just got to stay ready. I knew what I was coming into when I came over here, and I love it here, and I'm happy with my situation, and just trying to help the team as much as possible.
He's just ready to play. He's a professional. He knows what his job is, and he's ready to play every day. And the good thing is we've seen some lefties. He's got some consistent at-bats. He's played some because of some injuries and sickness against righties, and has just done a really good job.
Young has really forced Joe Girardi's hand against lefties in particular. He's in the lineup again this evening, batting second. Plenty more to come here on the Yes Network. Michael Kay, John Flaherty, and Paul O'Neill coming up next with Lineup First Pitch Baseball right here on Yes.
broadcast is brought to you in part by DirecTV. If you call yourself a sports fan, you've got to get DirecTV. Call 1-800-DirecTV. By TriStateGMC.com. And by Blimpie, try one of the new oven-fired artisan flatbread sandwiches. Blimpie, America's sub shop. Yeah, still some flurries here at Comerica. Snowing a lot in the morning. Then it's been on and off the rest of the day, so people bundled up against the elements as we're about to have baseball in 38-degree temperatures. So Hardy is going to face David Price, and it's presented by Lexus. Jacoby Ellsbury, the center fielder, leads off. Chris Young, we talked about him. He'll be in left field batting second. The number 3 hitter is the DH, Alex Rodriguez. Mark Teixeira's at first base. He'll clean up. The number 5 hitter is the catcher, Brian McCann. Carlos Beltran's in right field. He'll bat 6th. Batting 7th, playing third base, Chase Headley. Gregorio Petit, the second baseman, will bat 8th. And batting 9th and playing shortstop, had last night off, Didi Gregorius.
That lineup for the New York Yankees going to face David Price, number 1 guy in this rotation in Detroit. Never easy to face from 38 degrees. It's going to be a little tougher. Look at his numbers on the year. 1-0, a .40, only 1 earned run in 22 1/3. Look at our pitchers scouting report, which is brought to you by your Honda dealers. Contract year, and he's in a salary drive. Gotten off to a great start with those numbers. And proud of his fastball this year, throwing it 71% of the time. Last year he threw it 57%. So obviously feeling good with the number 1 fastball. And maybe a little revenge against the Yankees. Yankees beat him up last year, 1-2, 5.76 ERA. And the batting average against him was .331.
You could see that David Price asked the home plate umpire, Jerry Davis, can I blow on my hand while on the mound? And Davis said, yes, you can bring a heater out there tonight. So Price is ready. Ellsbury's ready. And let's do it here in Detroit. First pitch is popped up. Left side, Castellanos can't make the play, lands in the seats. Doesn't seem as if wind will be as much of a factor as it was last night, although there is a bit of a wind blowing from right to left.
David Price going with the short sleeves also, 38 degrees.
You know, you're on the mound, you're pitching, you're throwing, your body temperature's up. Those long innings, those sleeves might catch up to him. But, you know, I never felt like you were cold while you were playing.
Yeah.
You know, the people who are cold are the people sitting behind the dugout up in the stands.
I actually felt the same thing when you're behind the plate catching. You're probably the warmest of anybody out on the field. You're in on every pitch. Those are diehard Tiger fans right there.
I bet when they bought those tickets over the winter, and that, you know, a Yankee series, late April, beautiful night, they didn't envision 38 degrees with snow flurries.
Now, if I'm David Price's agent, right, he's going to be a free agent after the year. He's gotten off to a great start. He has no sleeves out there, 38 degrees. You're just praying he doesn't hurt himself.
You know, you look at what he did last year, too, the number of strikeouts, the number of innings, and, you know, it takes a toll on a guy. And then he went from Tampa Bay over to Detroit where he pitched big games, and you just wonder, you know, he's off to a great start, but sometimes when pitchers, you know, throw that many innings, that many strikeouts a year before the year is over, you might see that velocity come down a little bit.
Two. Still 2-2.
The rumor has it he's actually come up with a little different breaking ball. I was talking to one of the Detroit guys, and you know, he's always been good fastball, good slider, but every once in a while now he's throwing a slower breaking ball just for a strike, and sometimes they get out lefties. What you need is a lefty when you're, you know, tops in the game. You add another pitch, right?
Well, you know, lefties actually are hitting better against him than righties.
Skied the other way and out of play.
David Price grunt. The last guy I remember grunting, Clemens would do it once in a while, but Nolan Ryan, when I came up and Nolan Ryan was grunting out there, I was afraid to even look out there.
Put your head down.
Man, didn't want to make eye contact, that's for sure.
Breaking ball. Let's look at the game time weather presented by Bigelow Tea. It's cold. 38 degrees. Wind chill is 29 degrees. Wind is 14. Out of the west and gusting to 25. They expected me to make that out. Chance of snow showers tonight.
Oh.
And that does not feel good on any day, especially a day like this.
They get him in the chest?
Looks like it. Right off his hand into his chest, maybe. This is one of those pitches where Brad Ausmus might ask the umpire if he swung at this pitch, too, because he kind of opened up and he had to figure out where that bat, the head of the bat went. Wow. I mean, I think picture's still a lot of words there. I mean, you just got drilled right in the chest. Wow.
You just, oh man.
Joe Girardi coming out there in a hurry. I mean, that had a sound to it. See, the third base umpire said no, he did not cross the plate, didn't swing.
I don't know if I've ever seen that before. Somebody getting hit in the chest.
There's a strike to Young.
Ouch.
It was Ellsbury who felt the pain. Count 1-1.
See Chris Young's number 344, 4 home run. Looks like an everyday player's numbers early in the season. And I tell you, we went up through it for the pregame. I mean, Joe Girardi is searching for offense. And if he continues to swing the bat, he's going to continue to get out there in that lineup.
Broken bat into center field, and that's going to dunk in. Bad base running there by Ellsbury, but does he get in time? Yes, he does. Ellsbury thought he was going to catch the ball, headed back to first. He didn't catch it. Then he kind of changed directions and got in ahead of the throw.
Yeah, Goes did a good job here of kind of acting like he was going to catch it, and then it just dropped. And if he comes up with that ball cleanly, he's out at second base.
You know, as a base runner, really, you got to try to see the flight of the baseball more than the center fielder, because he'll try to deke you like he did. Yankees get away with it.
And Ellsbury's usually an outstanding base runner, but Ghost got him that time. And by getting to second base, he gets Chris Young a base hit rather than a fielder's choice.
And a beautiful base hit for Chris Young. You get jammed, you break your bat. Yankees had good numbers against Price. I mentioned that in the scouting report, and off to a good start here tonight. Alex Rodriguez tapping his helmet. He wants the second base umpire to move a little bit out of the background of the pitch that will be delivered. Moves to the other side of second base.
Speed on the first pitch. All in one. I think a lot of scouts are saying that Rodriguez is sitting on early pitch fastballs and just jumping on them, so they're changing speed, so he'll have to adjust.
I think also, if you look at the scouting report on Price, I mean, he's 71% fastball, so it's a pretty good bet you're going to get one. Changeup is about 16%, and that's the pitch he went there on the first pitch. Throw some cutters and some curveballs occasionally.
And the 1-1. Fastball high, 2-1.
Again, to this point of the year, Flash, you know what really looks good at Alex Rodriguez? He's not leaving the strike zone. I mean, he's letting the balls in the dirt go. He's letting the balls out of the strike zone go. And it just, you know, as a hitter, you give yourself so much better of a chance swinging at good strikes. Especially in positions like this with men in scoring position.
Ellsbury off second, Young off first. Just underway here in the first inning. Well, here's a number that backs that up, Paul. He's had 15 full count plate appearances this year. Only 2 other players in baseball have better. Carlos Santana with 18, Lucas Duda with 16. Taking pitches, seeing them, not afraid to work the count. And he's been like that since the beginning of spring training this year.
He should get a good pitch right here. 3-1, first and second, nobody out. Mentioned all the fastballs that Price throws so far this year.
Fastball fouled away. So another full count on A-Rod. That's his 16th this year. Let's check out the Tigers defense, which is presented by Geico, Cespedes Ghost, and J.D. Moore. The plate, and Price on the mound. And the full count delivery is swung and missed, pulled the string. Change of pace right there, and one away.
I'll tell you what, the 3-1 fastball was right down the middle, and Alex fouled it off. And Price makes a good pitch, 3-2. Looks like a changeup. Rodriguez out in front, a big strikeout for David Price.
One thing, the Yankees have seen everything that Price has to feature so far in this first inning because of the base runners, because of Alex Rodriguez and a big at bat there. Curveball, fastball, changeup. He's had to use them all, but when you get him on the ropes, you don't know how many times you're going to have this opportunity throughout the game.
This is one of those nights that the players go to Robbie Cucuzza, the clubhouse guy, and say, give me whatever you have to keep me warm. Teixeira's got something around his neck. The heavy jackets out in the bullpen. Everything's going to be out tonight.
The hand warmers in your pockets. I used to carry those out in right field. Throwing hand in your pocket the whole time. Stevie Donahue sporting the toboggan.
Toboggan? Isn't that a sled?
I don't know. What do you call this big old head?
Ski cap.
Ski cap? Toboggan head.
Check the swing. Count 2-1. They're making Price work. As a team, the Yankees have 20 home runs, which leads the majors. It was just a couple of years ago, in 2012, they had 245 home runs. There's been a power outage the last couple of years, but so far this year, ball's flying out.
Price just threw a bad changeup there, 2-1. You think back to Alex Rodriguez, if you're Mark Teixeira watching on deck. Alex got a 3-1 heater right down the middle. This might be your one opportunity really to look for a fastball and try to do some damage.
It was a fastball, but it was upstairs, and the bases are loaded for the Yankees against David Price. Now, the Yankees have a different third base coach tonight. It's their old third base coach, Robbie Thompson, who has been the Yankee bench coach. Joe Espada went home today. His wife Pamela was giving birth. He got there in time to see young Viviana born. Joins little sister Eliana. Pamela is fine. Joe's a happy daddy, and we wish them congratulations. He'll be back shortly.
Congratulations. The good news, he got there in time.
Good year. Good news for future years, too, not just today, you know. Michael, your son and his little daughter can play together at the same age.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. Charlie's 5 months. Right now it seems like a lot, but when they're older it'll be fun.
Yeah. Well, again, this has been a series where teams have not had trouble getting base runners. They've had trouble getting base runners in. Big at bat right here from McCann.
Yeah, you think back all the double plays that the Yankees turned last night. McCann with good numbers with the bases loaded. That's where you're trying to stay away from the possibility of a double play. Get the ball up in the air if you can.
Early opportunity for the Yankees. Give Adam Warren some room to work. Bases loaded, 1 out. Price deals. Fly ball. Left field. On the run is Cespedes. It's going to drop fair. Everybody moves up a base. Scoring is Ellsbury. A bloop single for McCann. And the Yankees lead 1-0.
Remember last night he hit that ball hard the last time up and they gave him an error. So maybe he deserves a little bloop single. But boy, I tell you what, it couldn't have dropped in a better spot right on the left field line. Ball gets in on him a little bit. Cespedes, you know, you can't really as an outfielder dive for that ball. If it gets by you, it'll clear the bases.
How about this rally? Hit by a pitch, broken bat base hit, strikeout walk, and then another flare down the line. RBI, 1-0 lead. Bases are still loaded.
Here's Carlos Beltran hitting 171. Big spot for him. Switch hitter batting from the right side against the lefty Price. And a strike. Poured a fastball in there.
25 pitches already. Price has been a guy in his 3 starts, has thrown over 100 every time out.
Yankees have had 1-0 leads in all 3 games this series. The 0-1. 0-2. 11 grand slams for Beltran in his career. Price this year coming into the game had allowed 1 earned run in 22 1/3 innings.
Time that you, as a hitter, you got to not get in the panic mode here. You're 0-2 bases, or you want it to happen so quick. You still got to look for that strike, something you can put the bat on.
Price is a slow worker on the mound. The 0-2. 1-2. We mentioned he's the ace of the staff right now. Shane Green has 3 wins. We know that. Alfredo Simon has 3 wins, but with Justin Verlander on the DL, and there's no telling when he's coming back, this guy is the #1 starter on the staff.
He's still the guy that, you know, opposing teams, when you pick up the paper and see who you're facing, we're facing Price. I mean, he's still the name that jumps up at you from that pitching rotation.
Overpowered Beltran was as he swings to a 93-mile-an-hour fastball for the 2nd out.
And a big out, too. Left the strike zone, turning the ball up and away. After a couple days off, you know, you get up there in that first inning in a huge situation. Haven't had batting practice in a few days, and it just, you hate it as a player when you feel like you're not ready for those big at-bats.
Here's Chase Headley with the bases loaded now and 2 outs. This will be the 30th pitch of the inning for Price. Drop that one in there for a strike. Young at third, Teixeira at second, McCann's at first. Now 0-2.
I'll tell you what has happened with the Detroit Tigers in this first inning. Price gets out of this inning with only giving up 1 run. He's got to feel like he did a lot. The Yankees had an opportunity, and still do at this point, to put some runs on the board.
See if Price climbs the ladder right here. He got Beltran to swing at a fastball up out of the zone. That second strike was up. The home plate umpire Jerry Davis giving him the call.
Right after him. You know, do you ever think pitchers realize, you know, how many pitches they've used in the first inning, and just they get to an 0-2 and like, let's try to get this over with.
Yeah, enough of this. I got to get out of here.
See, a lot of times as a hitter, 0-2, you in the back of your mind, you think he's not going to give me anything good here. He's going to try to hit his, and then you know you see that pitch right there. And obviously a good fastball, but had a lot of the plate.
Some legitimate snow coming down right now.
The 0-2. All we need, Paul, is Andy Pettitte. We turn back the clock to 1996.
Right. Chris Haney pitched that day for the Royals, I want you to know. That's how my mind works. I can just remember things like that.
Now, I'm assuming you had a good day. That's why you remember that.
Got a hit. It meant something.
It is April 22nd, everybody.
I think they're going to light the tree at Rockefeller Center.
Hanging in there, making them work. April 9th, 1996. Paul, you remember this.
I do. Young Derek Jeter. Tino. Couldn't even see that through the snow. See, I told you Rockefeller Center.
And the 0-2. Boy, they're making him throw a lot of pitches. He might be giving his 6th and 7th innings here.
He hasn't really shown it yet, but he's got to be getting frustrated. 35 pitches, couple of foul balls.
Again, Flash, as a pitcher, you give up a run in an inning, okay. You give up 3 or 4, it's a big difference. Fastballs in this count, you got to remember he does have that changeup that he struck A-Rod out with. There it is again.
You know, we mentioned the amount of pitches. It's so imperative for a Tiger starter because their bullpen is the weak point of this team. If you can get into their bullpen in the 6th inning rather than in the 8th, increases your chances of winning the game. Even if Price straightens himself out, he's throwing pitches now he's not going to be able to throw later. Here's pitch number 37. Base hit to left field. Young scores. Teixeira will stop at third. An RBI single for Headley as he wins that battle, and the Yankees are up 2-0.
Well, it's a huge at bat for Headley, and a good at bat. He saw everything, and it looked like he went back to that changeup. A good pitch. They stayed with it and just hammered it to left field.
Well, you think back to the changeup beforehand, was down and away, and he took it really well. Now when he goes down and gets it and hammers it into left field, and another run on the board. More importantly, Price not out of the inning yet, has to keep working.
Now that's Price's line from last August against the Yankees. Now with the 2 Yankees that got on base in the first inning, 11 straight Yankees got on base against David Price if you go back to that game as well.
Wow, 12 hits in 2 innings. That's kind of hard to imagine with the stuff that he has.
Here is Gregorio Petit. And he's always going to be connected with Derek Jeter in Yankee lore. He served up Derek Jeter's 3,000th hit, which turned out to be a home run on a day that Derek had 5 hits, including the game winner. That was against Tampa Bay. Missed inside.
Seems like that strike one and strike two. It seems like that the zone is fairly large, and all of a sudden it gets tight.
See, Avila wanted it, David Price wanted it. I'm sure manager Brad Osmus in the dugout begging for it, trying to get his pitcher back in the dugout.
Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, bases loaded, 2-0 Yankees, top of the first. That one is driven to left field and deep. Cespedes is back, still back. It's going to be over his head and up against the wall. That is going to clear the bases. 3-run score. It's a 3-run double for Gregorio Petit. And the Yankees have put a 5 spot up on the board against David Price.
I tell you what, you get to these big at-bats with 2 outs and you can kind of break the game open, or at least give your pitcher something. You see they're going to go out and try to settle Price down. Again, another changeup. Left up. Petit stays with it. A lot of times these guys that get those spot starts, you know, last night really helps you tonight because you get back-to-back games. I can't help but think that Petit was really in better shape tonight coming into this at-bat because he had an opportunity to get 4 or 5 at-bats last night.
Well, he needed that. Just 2 hits and 18 at-bats and looked overmatched at the plate quite a bit. So Girardi pushes the right button starting him. Now let's see if he pushed the right button starting Gregorio, the Didi Gregorius. 9th batter to come to the plate for the Yankees. Tigers still don't have anybody up in the bullpen.
Manager, this is usually the night that you can kind of sit back and just enjoy your number one going out there and shutting somebody down. Hope your offense gives you a good night.
I'm thinking most of those bullpen guys probably even haven't gotten to the bullpen yet. They're sitting in the clubhouse or the dugout thinking David Price is pitching. We'll see about the 8th inning.
Now Stephen Drew had a really good game last night, and you kind of thought he would be playing tonight, but his numbers against Price 0 for 10. So that probably made the decision for Girardi to go with Gregorius. Three and 0.
Wow.
Yeah, he's just pretty much out of sorts. I mean, you've seen a couple good pitches here and there, but consistency. Left a couple change-ups up. Had no problem getting ahead early. Couldn't get the strikeouts. Got a strikeout with A-Rod and Beltran, but had an opportunity with 2 strikes on a couple guys and just could not put them away.
Well, pitchers are not used to throwing, obviously, this many pitches in 1 inning. You can tell he's all over the place now.
Ooh. And he walks Gregorius. So first and second, still 2 men out, and that's going to bring up Ellsbury.
It's got to be a tough spot for Brad Osmus, the manager. Obviously, you don't want to get David Price hurt throwing all these pitches in the first inning. You see some activity now in that Tiger bullpen. People running around.
Well, Jacoby Ellsbury got one on the left side of the chest starting off this game. He came around to score on the McCann bloop single.
Good time to pick up the first RBI of the year right here.
Angel Nesbitt is up in the Tigers bullpen. Fouled off the foot of Ellsbury.
I just looked at David Price, and he thought he had a ground ball to get himself out of the inning, and then all of a sudden he just kind of looked up to the sky saying, it's a foul ball, you got to be kidding me. Yep, off that guard.
Now, Al Leiter has always told me pitchers are trained to throw 15 to 18 pitches an inning. Anything over that, and you're really laboring. And now he's closing in on 50 in the first inning. Your mechanics get out of whack. You're exhausted. Your legs are tired. Another base hit. A line drive to left field. Petit is being waved home. Here's the throw from Cespedes. Here's the play at the plate. The ball is not handled by Avila. Run scores, and the runners move up. It's 6-0 Yankees.
Flash, I don't have an answer for this. I mean, on paper, you look at one of the best pitchers in the major leagues. You're looking at, you know, a tough night to hit, and guys are getting good swings, big at bats for the Yankees.
I mean, early on, Price looked good. A couple of broken bat hits. You see the throw up the line a little bit. Avila can't come up with it. But now, like Michael said, it's just got to be fatigue because he's all over the place. And Ellsbury picks up his first RBI of the year. Wow, 6-0 already.
With your hottest hitter up with 2 men on. Chris Young's done a good job handling lefties, obviously, all year.
All right, the runners advance on the E7, so that's a base hit and an RBI for Ellsbury, and Gregorius moves to third, Ellsbury to second on the throwing error by Cespedes. Fly ball, shallow left center, and coming in and making the play is Ghost to end the inning. But the Yankees score 6 runs on 5 hits, 1 error, 2 men left. Top of the first, the Yankees owned David Price. Now Adam Warren will take his chance against this Tiger lineup. Center fielder Anthony Ghost leads off, batting second. Playing second, Ian Kinsler. Miguel Cabrera at first base will hit third. Cleaning up the DH, Victor Martinez. J.D. Martinez in right field will bat fifth. Batting sixth, playing left field, Yoenis Cespedes. Nick Castellanos, the third baseman, bat seventh. Batting eighth and catching, Alex Avila. And Jose Iglesias, the shortstop, will bat ninth.
Well, Adam Warren out there taking his warm-up pitches now as a 6-run lead before he throws his first pitch. Take a look at his numbers on the season. Going to be his third start, the ERA 4.82. Or look at our pitcher scouting report, which is brought to you by your Tri-Honda dealers. Was good for the first 3 innings at Tampa his last start and gave up 4 runs in the 4th inning, and the slider was not a good pitch that night. We'll see if it gets better tonight. And follow the leaders. Sabathia and Eovaldi showed Adam Warren how to get this lineup out. You have to pitch inside with your fastball. A lot easier when you have a 6-run lead already.
John, any concern? The top of the first inning took 31 minutes.
Yeah,
Warren was sitting on the bench.
Of course. The good news here at Comerica, there is a batting cage right behind the dugout if you wanted to go in there and throw a couple of pitches. I think you'll trade that any day for the 6 runs already.
Spot, sure.
Now, David Cohn always says that one of the best pitchers he ever saw with an early lead that worked very well was David Wells, because he knew how to throw strikes, but they weren't just over the middle of the plate. Some pitchers have trouble with a big lead.
I actually think it's more mental. You almost have to trick yourself into it's a 1 or 2-0 game, and you know, stick with your scouting report and your game plan. And Brian McCann will have a lot to do with that. Sometimes pitchers get into a habit. I have 6.
You've got to start putting together a game. You've got to get into a rhythm. You've got to figure out what pitches are going to work for you.
Count full at 3-2. Jerry Davis, the home plate umpire. We told you that. Phil Cuzzi at first, Tony Randazzo at second, and Will Little is the third base ump tonight. Just foul.
Well, we've talked about it for 2 nights. The lineup for Detroit is potent. They're powerful. They have power. They have speed. The Yankees have done a great job for 2 games. So obviously a long way to go in this one. If there's any lineup in the league that can come right back at you, it's this one here in Detroit.
And that's not what you want to do with a 6-0 lead. Walk the leadoff batter, and that's what Ghost does. He walks. Let's take a look at the Yankee defense behind Warren. Brought to you by Geico. Young, Ellsbury, and Beltran left to right in the outfield. Infield, Headley, Gregorius, Petit, and Teixeira. That's third to first. McCann's behind the plate. And Adam Warren, we told you about him. He's on the mound. Here's Kinsler. Yankee defense has turned 7 double plays in the first 2 games of the series, 4 of them last night. We told you last night you have to go back to 1973 to see starting pitchers that turn 3 or more double plays in successive games for the Yanks. Lined into center field. Ellsbury's there. Hit well, but 1 away.
I mentioned the slider in the scouting report for Adam Warren last time out against Tampa Bay. It was just kind of spinning and rolling. This looks like a fastball, little 2-seamer in. Kinsler hits it hard. But right at Ellsbury in center field, that slider really needs to be a big pitch for Adam Warren tonight.
Here's Miguel Cabrera in 55 games against the Yankees in his career. He has 46 runs batted in and 18 home runs. But he does that to a lot of teams. Hitting .389 in the early going. The Yankees have held Cabrera to 1 for 7 in this series.
If you're Adam Warren, you're thinking double play, and you can run that fastball in on Cabrera's hands, try to jam him, get a ground ball, or you can go that slider down and away, get him reaching out over the plate.
Or you can get behind 2-0 and kind of hold your breath. Huh?
Dangerous pitch right here.
3-0. And he walked him. 2 walks here in the first inning with a 6-0 lead.
Well, Brian McCann's going to go out and have a little talk with Adam Warren, but this one has a feeling like we might be here a while tonight.
I tell you what, I was really impressed with Cabrera there. I mean, down 6-0 in the first inning. You could tell that 2-0 pitch he was taking all the way. I mean, he's going to make something. He's going to make that pitcher, Adam Warren, throw strikes, get ahead. I mean, they're trying to come back. Even if he gets a base hit, you let that other pitcher dig a hole for himself, which right now Warren is doing.
Inside to Victor Martinez. Well, he has liked playing here in Detroit. Look at the numbers he's put up last year in a free agent season. 335, 32 homers, 103 ribbies, and there was some thought, would they bring him back at his age? But there were bidders for him, so they know the protection that he gives Cabrera. They brought him back. Now, batting from the left side is painful to him because his left knee is bothering him. And it was suggested to him, since he's a switch hitter, to bat right-handed against righties. And he said, absolutely not. I will not do that.
Boy, it's such an advantage to be able to turn around as a switch hitter, if you want to give that advantage away.
Two and one. First and second, 1 man out. And Warren just does not have the strike zone now. Not to make excuses for anybody, John, but is this the manifestation of sitting on the dugout bench for 31 minutes?
Well, it can be, but at this point, you've thrown 17 pitches in this inning. You got to start locking it in at some point with a 6-run lead. I'm sure everybody out on that field is thinking the same thing. Let's go, throw some strikes.
You're talking about when you get cold in the game. When you're on the bench, you're fine. When you're hitting, you're fine. You're running around, you're fine. When you're just standing out there and a guy's throwing ball after ball after ball, this is when you get tight, you get cold, you get frustrated.
And you get a trip to the mound from the pitching coach.
Well, you know what? There's 38 degrees out there. It's a brutal night to pitch, but this might be a little message from Larry Rothschild. Let's go. Throw the ball over the plate and take your chances.
Are any of these ever scoldings, John?
Sure, of course.
From you or the pitching coach?
Well, you know what? If you're a catcher, you'd rather it be from your pitching coach, but I'm sure Brian McCann thinking the same thing. Let's go.
Warren will face J.D. Martinez. Bases loaded with 1 out. Bottom of the first. Top of the first, the Yankees got to David Price for 6 runs, but a lot of that could go away with one big swing. And there's a strike.
Good pitch, good call right there. Brian McCann, a little slider to slow Adam Warren down a little bit. He's been scattering his fastball. Time you throw a breaking ball, if you're a pitcher mechanically, you got to stay back a little bit slower.
Really see that changeup grip there. He went to a straight changeup, got it up in the zone, but when you fool a hitter with pitch selection, sometimes you can get away with it. Just see that circle change. Floats up there.
So quickly ahead in the count, 0-2. Goes at third, Cabrera at second, Victor Martinez at first. One man out, bottom of the first.
Wow.
Emergency hack.
To say the least. It's the first fastball of the count right there. Those off-speed pitches in his mind, and all of a sudden you're beat. You just got to somehow foul that ball off.
Missed outside, 93 miles an hour, 1-2.
J.D. Martinez, we talked about, restructured his swing inside out, driving the ball to right field, likes it away from him a little bit.
Two and two.
McCann, Flesh, you're thinking about one pitch you can rely on right now. You can't figure it out. The changeups have been high. The sliders have been good or bad. They've kind of been both, and then the fastball's been all over the place.
Fastball's been all over the place. They must like the changeup.
And the count is full of 3-2. A pitch away from forcing in a run. Price threw 51 pitches in the top of the first, and now 24 by Warren here in the bottom of the first.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad slider right there. Martinez just laid off it.
Ball four, forces in a run. 6-1 Yanks. 4 walks by Adam Warren.
Yeah, well, that pitch right there looked pretty good. Jerry Davis behind the plate doesn't give him the call. You know, you hear it all the time when a pitcher is all over the place and an umpire doesn't get locked in on the strike zone. You usually don't get the close calls. Yeah, I'd want that one too if I'm Joe Girardi.
Well, here's Yoenis Cespedes.
Guy that just scares you every time he comes to the plate. Doesn't get cheated on a swing. He puts everything into it. He's been one of their hotter hitters, driving in runs too.
Grounded and grabbed there by Gregorius. Goes to second. They do not get the force. Another run scores. Infield single for Cespedes, and it's 6-2 Yankees.
It'll be one of those nights. The Yankees had some broken bat base hits. This is an infield hit. Gregorius knocks it down. The throw to second is going to pull Petit off the bag. You wonder maybe if he had a play at third base right in front of him.
I don't think he came up with it clearly.
That's a Mercedes-Benz Yes Mo, brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealers.
But you got Victor Martinez coming right here, plays right in front of him. He decides to go to second instead of maybe third.
Base is still loaded. Here's Castellanos. And that's bounced up there.
Those all your game notes you just threw away?
Just throw them away. My scouting reports.
Because nothing has gone the way you were playing so far, right? David Price looking at a new life.
Let's see if they can turn two. There's one. Not in time. Took too long to get out of Gregorius' glove. Another run scores.
He underhanded that ball from a long way. Usually you see that kind of quick pivot and get that ball to the second baseman as quick as you can. Gregorius decides to underhand it. You see that's a long way. It's just a little bit more time.
It's a play that has to be made. I mean, that's a routine 6-4-3 double play, and it just takes too long here with the transfer and the underhand flip from a long way away.
Well, here is Avila with runners on the corners and 2 outs. A strike. And another strike. Count 0-2. Four walks and an infield hit. 3 runs are in. Hit. Scoring Martinez, Castellanos to second. It's an RBI single for Avila, and it's 6-4 Yanks.
An 0-2 pitch looked like a hanging slider right down the middle of the plate. It's just, you've got to throw a better pitch here to 0-2.
That was the slider he was throwing in Tampa the last outing. When I think of Adam Warren, I think of a guy who can throw his slider anytime to the corners, and it just, for the last 2 starts, it just hasn't been there.
Ninth batter to come to the plate. Here is Jose Iglesias.
Some action in the Yankee bullpen.
Two pitchers with decent control all over the place. Does the weather have anything to do with it?
Oh, it has to have something to do with it.
Esmail Rogers is up. Knocked off the mask of McCann.
Again, Iglesias, kind of a younger player, kind of a hot player, hitting the ball well, but you know, you're in a 2-0 count there. You saw your best hitter in your lineup, Cabrera, take a 2-0 pitch, just letting this pitcher just kind of dig a hole. You swing at 2 pitches now out of the strike zone and get him out of the inning.
And that will end the inning. The first inning, 10 runs. Would you believe it? If somebody said that to you, you'd say, no way. It's 6-4 Yankees as we go to the second. by clean, crisp Coors Light, and it's about the first inning. 10 runs total, 20 batters total, 6 walks, 87 pitches, and by the way, it took a cool, crisp 52 minutes to get 6 outs.
That's all?
That's it.
Felt a little longer than 52 minutes.
Well, let's see if David Price found his mojo on the bench. His team picked him up, got back 4 of the 6. We've got ourselves a ball game. Here's Alex Rodriguez. High pop-up. Left field. Cespedes. One away.
Expect David Price really to lock in on the strike zone, throw a lot of first pitch strikes here with the pitch count now at 53.
See, look at his fastball now. After that first inning of 50 pitches, I mean, you're down to 89 miles an hour in the second inning.
Pitching coaches tell me, when a pitcher goes out there and throws that many pitches, get him back in here with a 7 or 8 pitch inning. Okay, you go out there and try to do that. He's all over the place. A lot easier said than done.
Three and 2 on Teixeira. Teixeira walked and scored in the first. That was the line to left field. Cespedes puts it away for the 7th.
See Cespedes throw in after he caught that ball? Wow.
Price has a very strange windup. It's very close to a stretch set. He's very, very deliberate on the mound.
Just a little small step and then picks up the foot, puts it down. Very simple mechanically. Fastballs?
I think he's trying to turn him over and get him in on the lefty, but I mean, you're down in the mid 80s here. Well, that's a slider there that just has no bite to it.
Shift is on for McCann. And that one's popped up. Price on the run, so is Avila. Top of the Tiger dugout. And the 2-1 pitch. Hammered into center field. Long run for Ghost. He's going to have to play it on a hop. And Brian McCann is 2 for 2.
Yeah, the first hit from McCann going the other way got jammed and dropped it right on the line. This one hard hit right back up the middle. With that, now you're 2 for 2 in the second inning.
Off Price.
6-4 Yankees lead. We're in the second. Beltran hammers one into left center field. It's a base hit that splits the outfielders and it goes to the wall. Let's see if McCann can score. He's chugging around third. Robbie Thompson's waving him home. Here's the throw. It's wide of the plate. He scores. It's a double and an RBI for Beltran. He moves to third on the throw, and it's 7-4 Yanks.
Robbie Thompson, first night back out there. Takes a little chance there, but you know, he was in a position with 2 outs there. It was going to take a perfect throw. A perfect throw gets him out at the plate. Beltran, good piece of hit, and hammers it to left center field. McCann, not your fastest runner, but why not take a chance, put the pressure on the defense, throws off line. McCann gets in easily.
But Brian McCann chugging all the way from first base is going to be able to score. Carlos Beltran really needed that hit right there. A little confidence knock, hammering it to left center field.
You really got to wonder about some of the scoring. He gets a triple.
Triple? That's not it. That's a double.
It's a double, and he goes to third on the throw, but it scored a triple.
The official score has been here an hour in the first inning, too. You know, he's had about enough.
Here's Chase Headley.
Wow.
Jumped on that fastball.
You see the swing some of these guys are getting off Price. You don't see this very often. You're just seeing one of the better pitchers. He's having a night where he can get nothing going.
Tonight, coming off of the numbers last year, the Yankees hit over .330 against Price last year.
So a 1-1 count on Headley. RBI single in the first inning. So the Yankees lead 7-4. 65 pitches for Price and 2 outs into the second. And the count 3-1. Petit is on deck. The 3-1. That one is lined into right center field. It is a base hit. It's going to split the outfielders and go all the way to the wall. Scoring easily is Beltran. Going to second now, heading to third is Headley, and it's 2 triples in a row for the Yankees as they lead 8-4.
It's amazing, Flash, and I don't know what you do as a catcher. You don't know what fingers to put down. You can't get anything from your star pitcher. The swings, the pitches, ball out over the plate. Headley does a great job of staying with it, shooting it to right center field.
At some point, if you're the manager, Brad Osmus, don't you just say, you know what, enough's enough. This is my #1 guy. I got to protect him a little bit. He's obviously having trouble at 38 degrees. Getting beat up by the Yankees, giving up 8 runs already. Assuming you got to start thinking about protecting him for his next start.
They're going to intentionally walk Petit and match up Price against Gregorius. I mean, that tells you what they think about Price's stuff today. If you've got to intentionally walk Gregorio Petit, You're walking a guy who's hitting 158 intentionally to get to a guy who's hitting a robust 200.
Glad to see you have lost your sense of humor, Mike.
Paul, if we don't have that, what do we have?
Snow. Well, snow in Detroit.
So there's an intentional walk to Petit, and that brings up Gregorius.
How many times Petit has been intentionally walked in his career, minor leagues and big leagues? That might be the first.
I was going to say
the last.
Could be the first.
Thinking about the guys on the bench for the Yankees tonight, Drew, Gardner, you know, they get a night off against a tough lefty. It's 38 degrees, and you're thinking, you know what, I'll take this night off.
That's right.
Now all of a sudden you're starting to change your attitude a little bit. 8 runs, everybody's laying out line drives.
Really? Probably could have had 3 or 4 RBIs in my pocket, been a part of this. Price has gone just fastball only at this at bat against Gregorius. Let's see if I can get an out here. Somehow get out of this inning.
You know, Paul, you always talk about batting averages change so much at this time of the year. How about ERAs?
Oh, well, we went from 0.4 to, we'll figure it out. Gregorius right there with a kind of an orthodox swing. Sometimes I wonder where his balance is. You just see everything's kind of going away from the ball and just swing with your arms there.
He's getting a word that Petit got intentionally walked 6 times in the minor leagues. How about that?
He was raking, huh?
Fly ball, center field, and that will do it. But the Yankees pick up 2 runs, and they do it in a way that you don't really see that much. Couple of triples in a row. Carlos Beltran drives home Brian McCann, and then Chase Headley follows with a triple of his own. Yankees lead this one 8-4. Brought to you by Toyota. Toyota is the official hybrid vehicle of the Yankees. Here's how we started the conversation. Do you think the Tigers' rotation this season is better than the rotation they had at the end of last year? Why or why not? Well, King Tater 1313 says, yes, they made the right moves to replace Max Scherzer by going younger. The young guys have matured to be potential all-stars. Follow Yes Network and tweet us your responses using hashtag Yankees Prius to keep the conversation going. I put up a stop sign right there. You lose Rick Porcello on Max Scherzer, and I know everybody gets giddy early that Shane Green and Alfredo Simon are 3-0, but they're not those two pitchers.
But all-star, we're talking all-star already?
Amazing.
Shane Green has gotten off to a great start. I'm sure there were plenty of conversations with Larry Rothschild, the pitching coach, in between innings for Adam Warren. Whatever those conversations were, it hasn't translated out on the mound so far. Behind in the count again, 3-1. Frustrating for a manager, a pitching coach, a catcher, everybody involved.
Sky the other way and out of play. Meredith Morakovitz has more about Girardi's concerns about Warren and the weather.
Well, Michael, obviously both teams are on an equal playing field. Both pitchers have to deal with it, and you see obviously both are pretty affected tonight so far. But Joe Girardi said his biggest concern with Warren is getting the grip on the baseball, saying that the baseball will be slick tonight just because of the weather conditions. And for Warren, that's not great news because he's not just a fastball guy. He relies heavily on his off-speed stuff, usually mixes in about 4 different pitches. So I said to Joe Girardi, do you worry more about a guy like that pitches that way? And he said, well, Nathan Eovaldi seemed to find it last night. Hopefully Adam can work his way through it. Sometimes it takes a couple innings to get yourself going. So we saw him have a tough first inning. Maybe things will change here in the second and then third.
Well, we'll see. You can see he's laboring. Count still 3-2 with a foul ball. Ghost goes down on strikes.
Big pitch there, went to the fastball, threw it by him. Outs are like big things tonight, Flash. Huh? If you can get an out, you're like way ahead of the game. You know, he's got to be thinking, are you serious with this? Is CC Sabathia? You know, the game one, I'm out here throwing a gem, and nobody can score a run. And tonight we can't get out.
A strike to Kinsler. Kinsler with a fly ball to center in the first inning. Yankees lead 8-4, 6 runs in the first inning, 2 in the second against David Price, who came into the game with a 0.40 ERA. 2 quick strikes on Kinsler.
2 quick strikes. Maybe you can find a rhythm like Meredith was talking about here. Those scouting reports that Brian McCann talks about with starting pitchers, that is like a distant memory now.
And Beltran puts it away for the second out.
You're basically now in the second inning just trying to find a way to throw some strikes, try to get ahead in some counts.
Yankees had back-to-back triples in the top of the second. You might wonder when's the last time they did that. You have to go back to May 19th of 2011. Tonight it was McCann and Beltran. On May 19th, 2011 at Baltimore, it was Brett Gardner and Derek Jeter. Both RBI triples. There's the strike. Yeah, the back-to-back triples in the top of the inning, I'm sorry, it was Beltran and Headley, not Beltran and McCann.
You're watching early, and Jerry Davis, the home plate umpire, would have a hitter's strike zone tonight. Borderline pitches not going the pitcher's way. And I can understand why. Pitchers are all over the place. You're not getting anything close. But isn't it got to be tempting on a 38-degree night to say, you know what, boys, I'm opening up the strike zone. Let's swing the bats.
Swing the bat.
Well, the scoreboard count has been frozen because of the weather.
I didn't even notice that, Michael, but you're right. Balls, strikes, outs, we're all zeros.
Yep.
I said 38 degrees. It's now 36 degrees.
Here's the payoff. They thought it out. Ground ball is short. Gregorius to first, and Warren comes back with a 1-2-3 inning here in the bottom of the second. We played 2 in Detroit. Yankees 8 and the Tigers 4. No home runs, though, but that's still not a problem. They lead the major leagues in home runs on the Honda League Leaders Board. Yankees with 20, Orioles and the Blue Jays tied with 19, Mariners, Astros, and Reds 18 each. Hot, power-wise. Ellsbury, third inning, third at bat. Count 1-0. Ellsbury hit by a pitch, left side of the chest in the first inning, scored. RBI single later in the first inning. And that was his first ribby of the year.
I wonder how that chest is feeling now. It was 38 degrees to start the game. Now it's 36 degrees.
Audi 8-3 scoreboard, 8-4 Yanks.
So remember a spring training game where I took a full swing at a ball and got hit in my right shoulder with a pitch. How about that?
You had it working, huh? Spring training.
That's called not picking up the baseball out of the hand right there.
Line into center field. It's a base hit. I've got a question for both of you. This is one of the most important people on the team. I know it's only a 4-run game, and it's the third inning, but he's got 81 pitches. He obviously doesn't have it. Why is David Price still out there?
You can see the bullpen now is getting to get going. I totally agree with you. And David Price is one of the great competitors in the game, but at some point he's got to be saying, you got to be kidding me. This just 9 hits already, 8 runs in, 81 pitches.
You almost wonder if Ausmus went over to him during the innings and sat down and said, what do you want to do?
Yeah.
You want to try to figure this out? You want me to get you out of here? What do you want? What do you want me to do? What do you feel like doing? And a lot of times managers will go to their number ones and get their opinion on things.
But again, how many number one guys do you go to and say, you want me to get you out of this game?
Yeah.
No, I want to go out there and eat up some innings. And
You almost have to save him from himself.
right.
Looks like they are going to get him out of here. A couple throws over to first, stall a little bit.
You have to think Nesbitt has to be ready to go. I mean, he's been up a couple of times already. And I know this isn't the Tigers' focus, but this man is going to be a free agent at the end of the year.
Now you can hear when Price delivers the baseball, there's that grunt. Is that a distraction at all when you're at the plate?
No, I never. Like I said, the only other guy I remember was Nolan Ryan, and it's not like you were going to stare him down or anything when he did it. But I didn't think it was. No. I mean, there were times where you got everything together right, and you hit a ball, and you know, little grunt right back at him.
Does it distract you when you play tennis?
Not really.
Really?
I haven't played so long, I kind of forget, to tell you the truth. Distracts me now when that little white ball doesn't listen to me. It kind of goes right when you want it to go left, things like that.
No grunting.
No.
Hit sharply to center field. Backing up Ghost, he makes the play. Ellsbury will head back to first. Let's listen to the quality of grunt that David Price delivers. I would think that'd be effective on a changeup.
Yeah, I mean, it happens so quick, and then you're picking up arm speed and things like that, you know, I don't even know as a hitter if you even realize the pitcher's doing it.
Here's A-Rod, 0 for 2 tonight. Strikeout and fly ball to left. He's the only Yankee that has not reached base tonight.
Price has given him a lot of changeups today. Struck him out first time up with a changeup. Seems to be showing him that fastball in off the plate and then going off speed.
Oh, 2. 8-9-0 for the Yankees. 4-2-1 for the Tigers. The first 2 games, well-pitched games in terms of the starters, but not tonight. Just missed outside. Jerry Davis is not expanding that strike zone. And the 1-2. 2-2. You talk about a pitcher that's going to be a free agent, and it always reminds me of when CeCe got traded from the Indians to the Milwaukee Brewers, and they were in a pennant race, and he insisted on making his final couple of starts on 3 days rest. And his agent called him up and said, "You can't do this. You're going to be a free agent." He said, "I'm doing it." And that's all there is to it. And he pitched the Brewers into the playoffs, and then he got a big contract from the Yankees nonetheless, because he showed people it was more about the team than his free agency coming up. That one is punched into center field, a base hit for A-Rod, so all of the Yankees have reached safely in this game as Ellsbury moves to second.
The balls that are hit hard are base hits, broken bats are base hits. Brad Osmus going to look like he's going to make a pitching change. Off the end of the bat, Alex just flicks it right into center field. Joins the hit parade.
A really, really tough outing for David Price. He had allowed just 1 run this year. And Brad Osmus says 88 pitches. That is quite enough. He makes the Verizon call to the bullpen. Price departs. Yankees have runners on first and second. Stay right where you are. Is brought to you by Montefiore Medical Center, Inspired Medicine. We go around the major leagues, some important injuries. Jose Bautista has a strained shoulder. He might go on the DL for Toronto. David Wright is one of several Mets that have gone down with injuries, but the Mets continue to persevere with 9 straight wins. And then old LaTroy Hawkins, 15-day DL with a biceps injury, but nowhere near the hurt that LaTroy Hawkins suffered when he became a Yankee, and they had the nerve to issue him number 21. And fans did not let him up. And after a while, I said, "Give me another number. I don't need this."
Enough problems in baseball. Huh?
He ended up going to 22. So he didn't go that far, but he had to get away from Paul O'Neill. Angel Nesbitt takes over. First and second. 1 out. And the pitch to Teixeira is inside 1-0.
Nesbitt, a kid who pitched in Single-A and Double-A last year, making the opening day roster this year for the first time.
Body type, he kind of has a Jose Valverde look. That was the thrill-a-minute closer here with the Tigers. Center field. Ghost makes the play. Tagging is Ellsbury. He can go to third. So 2 down. Runners on the corners, and McCann comes up. So Brian's had a good night so far. This is the third inning, and this is his third at bat. He's had 2 singles, an RBI, 2 runs scored.
Tell you what, we're kind of joking about what's going on up here, the length of the first inning. If you're a player and you're continually getting these at bats with men in scoring position, I mean, this is a fun night, especially when you got things going so far like McCann does.
Yankees have 10 hits on this game, 8 runs, threatening again here in the third.
If you're Brian McCann, you're thinking this could be the night, could get me right where I want to be. 2 for 2 already, batting average at .262 now.
Brian really struggled in the first half last year, but in the second half he really picked it up and brought his numbers to respectability. And his hope and the Yankees' hope was that what he did in the second half would carry over into this season, where he wouldn't have the pressure of the new contract, be more familiar with his surroundings in the league. So hitting .262. 3-0. Ellsbury's on third. A-Rod's at first. And a strike. Iglesias shades up the middle. And the count 3-2, so that will release A-Rod at first. And Cabrera will play behind him. High pop-up. Center field. Ghost is there. He makes all 3 putouts in the inning, and the Yankees don't score. No runs, 2 hits, and 2 men left on base. Let's go to the bottom of the third. 8-4 Yanks. For New York, bragging rights begins as the Yankees and the Mets square off the first game of the Subway Series. Our pregame coverage on Yes starts Friday at 6, and Al Leiter and I will have the Game 1 call between these 2 crosstown rivals, and it's going to be right here on Yes. David Price's line is complete. 2 1/3 innings, 10 hits, 8 runs, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts. He threw 88 pitches, and that's remarkably similar to the line that he had at the end of August last year. He has really never pitched up to his level consistently against the Yankees. He's had his games, but the Yankees have gotten to him more than other teams have gotten to him. There's Victor Martinez against Adam Warren. It'll be Martinez, and Cespedes.
I'm sure a lot of thoughts going through David Price's mind. See 8-4 on the Audi scoreboard, but he's sitting in the dugout. 36 degrees. I like it too.
Yeah.
Shift is on for Victor Martinez. You know, they talk about speeding up the game. Victor Martinez takes forever to get in the box. And April is the month where they're going to warn you, and you'll see that they start finding people in May. But Victor, you know, he steps out, not supposed to step out of the box. He's out of the box right now. And the veteran hitters are going to have a hard time with this. David Ortiz said, I'm not stepping out of the box to pose. I'm stepping out of the box so I can think about what the pitcher's throwing next. Fly ball, shallow center. One away. Would that bother you suddenly being sped up, Paul?
I tell you what, anytime you have a routine, I think it does. And it would bother you because there are certain times where you need to step out and either slow things down, step out to get a pitch out of your mind. You know, just because you're used to doing it. So to answer your question, yeah, I think it would. It would have affected me if they told me, hey, you're not stepping out of the box and we're going to speed your bats up.
Yeah, but you can keep 1 foot in the box.
Right.
And then take your time and gather your thoughts. So it would, yes, be a change, but
that
you could still take your
yeah,
time.
That I could deal with. It's the, you know, let's go, next pitch. Yeah. Because sometimes you need to get rid of what just happened.
Now, I understand what you're saying because it's a habit that's built up over your whole career. But how come the guys in the 40s and the 50s never stepped out, never thought about it, and they were able to do it?
Yeah, I mean, it's a different game, different times, obviously. I don't even remember, Michael, you might. I mean, was I a guy that took a long time to get into the box?
No, Bernie was.
Yeah, Bernie was.
Bernie was. I think that was part of Bernie's plan, though. I think he annoyed pitchers that way.
And catchers.
Ground ball is short. Gregorius boots it. And another error for D.D. Gregorius. Might have got him on the bare hand as well. This has not been the start that D.D. and the Yankees envisioned.
Well, even the plays that aren't errors where he took a lot of time delivering the ball to second base on the possibility of a double play. Shaking that right hand.
Sometimes that ball pops up and then, you know, hits you right on the fingertip. People realize how much spin is on a baseball and how much it hurts if it hits a finger or hits your wrist.
Tell you what, though, I'm surprised watching Gregorius in spring training. This didn't look like it was going to be a problem. He's made some decisions in the field that you question a little bit. Base running has been an issue.
Do you believe in defensive slumps?
Oh, absolutely. It comes down to confidence. I mean, if you're used to making great plays, you continue to make great plays. If you're thinking, oh, I can't mess this up again, you're out there trying not to make mistakes. You'll make mistakes. There comes a comfort level every single day about playing a position, and if you're not comfortable and if you're worried about what happened last week or yesterday, you drag that on with you defensively, just like you do a hitter in a slump offensively.
And you wonder if his struggles at the plate also carry him onto the field.
He's always said, don't ever let your offense take your defense, and very hard to separate the two. It seems like when everything's going right, both things are going well, and when you're struggling at the plate, you had to make an intentional effort to block that out and do something defensively.
Popped up to Shara for the second out. And then there are guys that could be struggling at the plate and they never bring it out on the field. Just for an example, Stephen Drew looked so comfortable at shortstop last night. Looked very slick. And his average is under 200. He's been hitting for some power, but he has not let it come out onto the field. For Didi now, that's his third error. And John mentioned some things are not errors, but they're mistakes. Where to throw the ball, the time he held the relay throw. Here's Nick Castellanos. But also what people don't understand is that, this isn't an era now of immediacy. What did you do yesterday? And you can't judge players like this. This is a 25-year-old player that the Yankees scouted last year. They like what they see. They think he's going to be a good player. You don't just give up on him after 15 games. You let it breathe a little bit.
I agree with that, Michael, but the one concern was hitting, right? Would he be able to hit enough to be an everyday shortstop?
Right.
The defensive part of the game wasn't supposed to be an issue, and seeing some, a kid struggle a little bit both sides of the game.
And also his base running has been called into question as well, trying to move to third with 2 outs or steal third when you're down by 4 and Mark Teixeira's at the plate. So he's had his issues so far early. And Joe Girardi is kind of at a crossroads too. He has to win games. Yeah, he wants to develop his shortstop, but when it starts to affect you winning games, then that's when he has to make a decision.
Tell you what, another pitch looked like it was right down the middle of the plate. Called the ball. It's just going to say Warren kind of kicked back and has had 2 pretty good innings.
There's strike 3. Castellanos down looking. No runs, no hits, 1 error, and 1 man left on base. 3 in the books in Detroit. Yankees lead this one 8-4. Those were the thrills of the Yankees, presented by Pepsi. Upload your Yankees pride using hashtag #YankeesThrill for your chance to win an exclusive Yankee experience. Go to Yankees.com/YankeesThrill for more information. Tonight it's a Yankees thrill and chill. 38-degree weather, now down to 36. And the Yankees lead this one 8-4 as we go to the 4th inning. Carlos Beltran with a count 1-0. Struck out in the first, RBI triple in the second. Well, the Tigers shift for Beltran. 3 infielders on the right side. Lincoln scoreboard 8-10-1, leading 4-2-1. Now, we mentioned Bernie Williams earlier. And Bernie Williams, it was announced today, will officially retire on Friday at Yankee Stadium. He'll also throw out the first pitch. You might say, well, hasn't Bernie been retired? Bernie takes his time with things. So he last played in 2006. There's a ground ball up the middle, and Beltran needs these hits. He's 2 for 3. And he was invited by the Yankees as a non-roster invitee to spring training next year. He did not like that. He thought it was an insult. Decided not to show up. You see what he did with his career. 16 seasons, 5-time All-Star, 4-time World Champion, 4 Gold Gloves, and he won the American League batting title in '98 with a .339 average. So he never really retired. He's been on the Hall of Fame ballot, but now he will officially retire. And that's how Bernie played, though. He took his time, very chill, no hurry.
He probably thought somebody did it for him. Thought maybe Robbie Kakuza sent in the form or something.
Grounded to first, stabbed there by Cabrera. There's one, dropped, everybody safe. Now, earlier today, Joe Girardi spoke about Bernie Williams and spoke about Bernie as a teammate.
Bernie just found ways to get big hits, found ways to get the job done. He was a great teammate. Everyone loved him. He sat in the corner a lot, played his music, and we all enjoyed listening to it, but just a great teammate.
And he'll be at the stadium to throw out the first pitch, and they'll show him signing the retirement papers. And you've always told me, Paul, that there's part of Bernie that you marveled at. The game anguished you so much, and Bernie seemed like he got by without much angst.
There were times that, you just couldn't understand. He just had a quiet confidence that he would get him tomorrow, and, that's just the way he was wired. And I told you today on your radio show that I think you need a good mix of people on a team, and he was on the side that could take an 0 for 5 and believe that they were going to do something tomorrow. But he just was such a big part of our lineup, a switch hitter in the middle of the lineup. Some of the big home runs that he hit in the playoffs and the World Series.
One-0 count on Gregorio Petit. Had a big bases clearing double in the first inning. There's a sacrifice bunt that's successful. John, I don't know if I could do this justice, but the old Yankee clubhouse. O'Neill would be against the wall all the way in the back, and to his left and your right, if you're looking at the back, is Tino. They kind of catty corner to each other, and Bernie could be 0 for 5. Team could have lost, and he's walking out of the clubhouse whistling. And O'Neill and Tino would just look at each other and look at Bernie, and they didn't know how to take it.
I didn't get it. It just didn't make sense to me. But you know what? He showed up the next day, and he was ready to play just like everybody else.
And it's not that he didn't care. He was able to compartmentalize things.
Probably went home and slept like a baby while I was looking at the ceiling,
All right, the Yankees have second and third with one out for Gregorius. They lead 8-4, looking for more. The infielders in for the Tigers.
Did you sign your retirement papers?
I didn't even know there was anything such as retirement paper. You remember that?
I did, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, and I was surprised. I didn't know anything about it, but when I retired with the Red Sox, you had to sign these papers, so they had rights to you. So you couldn't just say I'm retired and then all of a sudden you go somewhere else and play.
And Paul, you don't know the money that Yes paid for the rights to get Flaherty up in the booth.
Right?
Oh, yeah?
Stole them away from Boston?
That's right.
So Paul can technically go back then. He's
I don't
not
know.
Retired.
It's been so long, I forgot if I did sign papers, but I didn't realize that you did. I thought you just said, hey, I'm done.
I'm done. See you later.
As soon as you clean your locker out, that's the first sign. It is a kind of a sad day when you're cleaning that locker up for the last time.
Well, I can announce it now, John. A couple of weeks from now, Paul will officially retire and throw out the first pitch. Don Mattingly didn't retire right away. He came back a couple of years later and signed the papers, and they had Don Mattingly did. But he was unsure if he was going to come back after sitting out 96. The 1-2. Rip foul. He gave some thought when he was out to play for the Cardinals. And after mulling it over, he just couldn't picture himself not playing for the Yankees, so he decided not to do it.
Well, answer this, though. Say you sign your retirement papers, and then a couple of years later you decide, hey, I want to play.
I think you can unretire.
You just rip it up, so basically it doesn't mean anything.
That one is lined to right field. It's a base hit for Gregorius. It's going to go to the wall. 2 runs will score. Gregorius is at second with a 2-run double, and the Yankees lead 10-4.
Well, we've talked about some of the struggles of Gregorius, and you didn't know how much he was going to hit early on. This has got to be a good sign for him. A slider middle in speeds up his bat a little bit. He's able to keep it fair. A couple RBIs, a double.
I tell you, a lot of good things have happened offensively for the Yankees. Obviously, the scoreboard will tell you that, but some guys that need good hits, big hits, have done that. Beltran's had a good night. McCann's had a couple big hits. Gregorius now throws one down the line for a double.
Well, with this offensive outburst, the Yankees have scored more than 6 runs, so log on to papajohns.com tomorrow for 50% off your online regular menu price order. Use promo code Yankee6 at papajohns.com. And a strike from Nesbitt. Ellsbury is 2 for 2, hit by a pitch. Picked up his first RBI of the year. Scored a run. And he goes down on strikes. 2 away.
That's that slider. He tried to throw Gregorius, but he got it in on Ellsbury. Kind of finishes him off. A little cut right there on the inside corner.
One and 0 to Young.
Flash, I walked in here today before the game, and I was just thinking, you know how social media makes things so easy. Now, Michael's talking to his daughter on FaceTime. Remember when we used to take road trips? I mean, you wouldn't see your kids for 10 days. I mean, you just sit and talk to them on FaceTime now. It's awesome.
Paul joined in, too.
That's right.
Now, I don't want to be Tommy Topper and top this story, but I'm going to.
Tommy Topper.
I was on FaceTime with my daughter, Kristen, who went to her junior prom tonight.
Nice.
So I had to see her in the dress and the hair and the makeup and all that stuff. So we did FaceTime.
Did you get I mean, when my daughter does this stuff, it's like 2-3 hours to get ready. It's not like 15 minutes.
It started at 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, she must have looked gorgeous.
Amazing. Made me feel old.
Hopefully she had a little bit better weather than we had in Detroit.
Well, there was a storm running through New York around 5 o'clock when pictures were supposed to be happening.
Oh, and she was chapped. Her hair was going to get messed up, I'm sure.
Hopefully they're having a good time tonight.
Well, he was right, Paul. That was Tommy Topper.
Tommy Topper.
Sorry about that.
Well, that was a good top.
You're only about 14, 15 years away from that.
Yeah, let's not push it. Ooh, that just missed Alex Rodriguez in the on-deck circle. See if everybody's okay in the seats. Looks like everybody is okay. Watch Alex in the background. Whoa.
Whoa.
There are a lot of guys that stand really almost behind the plate. Gregorius at second, 2 outs. Young at the plate. Really battling Nesbitt. Young with a single in the first inning and then 2 fly balls to center, hitting .343 in the early going. 12 hits, 4 home runs, 9 runs batted in, 7 runs scored. And he's walked 4 times.
Here's the at-bats that Joe Girardi's going to watch carefully against righties to see if he's able to keep that swing going. He's been so successful against the lefties. Ten to 4, you're allowed, you give guys opportunities to show you that they can do certain things.
High fly ball. Right side. Kinsler puts it away for the final out of the inning. But the Yankees get 2 runs on 2 hits, 1 error, and 1 man left. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Sports Live will get you caught up on a full night of NHL and NBA playoff action and tonight's big league games. You can watch Fox Sports Live tonight at midnight on Fox Sports 1 or see it simulcast right here on Yes. Tigers against the Yankees as we go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Yankees lead 10-4 on the Lincoln scoreboard, 10-12-1, leading 4-2-2. 8-9-1 for the Tigers against Adam Warren. And he deals to Avila. Outside 1-0. Tiger catcher. RBI single in the first inning. One is driven to right field. Beltran's right there and puts it away.
I'll tell you what, there's been more balls hit hard in the first 4 innings of this game than the whole series. I mean, guys are just, they're getting their hacks, they're hitting it hard. First couple of days, it just looks like both offenses were struggling to get anything going.
Here's Iglesias. And a strike.
Well, obviously a long way to go in this game, but you start thinking ahead a little bit. Tanaka throwing tomorrow afternoon. He's coming off a gem in Tampa Bay. He can hold on to this one. Come to Detroit taking 3 out of 4, one of the hottest teams early on. That'd be a great sign for the Yankees. Great series.
If you're Joe Girardi or Larry Rothschild, you're kind of holding your breath, but you're kind of breathing a little bit better because Warren has seemed to find a little more control of his slider. As soon as I say that, he gets behind 2-1, but you know, the second inning, third inning, he's been much better, obviously, than he was the first. Better get a little power snack in there.
Base hit off the bat of Iglesias. 1 on, 1 out. Follow the New York Yankees all season in 2015 with MLB.com At Bat, the #1 app for live baseball. At Bat is up to the moment and at any moment with in-game highlights, live look-ins, replay reviews, radio broadcast, StatCast, and more. Get MLB.com At Bat for your smartphone or tablet today. Back to the top of the lineup, and Anthony Gose. He walked and scored in the first, struck out in the second. Iglesias leads off first, held there by Teixeira. Now bat. Ian Kroll, who came in and gave up 2 home runs yesterday, he's up again.
Well, the Tiger bullpen had a tough night last night, and the news didn't get any better today with Joe Nathan going down on the rehab assignment, hurt his elbow again.
That would have presented a little bit of a problem for Ausmus and the Tigers, because Soria right now seems like he's a better pitcher than Joe Nathan. And would Nathan have been the setup guy, or would they have moved him back to the closer role and then Soria to the 8th inning? Meredith, you have more information on Nathan?
Well, he was actually sent back here to Detroit. He's going to undergo an MRI, but when he came off the mound, he had thrown just 10 pitches in Toledo, and he was in visible pain. And afterwards, he said he felt like he had broke his arm. He felt a pop. They don't want to jump to conclusions, but certainly not good anytime a pitcher willingly comes off the mound. And they really thought that he would only need that one rehab appearance, and then he'd be able to be activated up here because he was actually eligible after tonight's game. So really a blow to that bullpen, and Joe Nathan right now wondering what's going to happen with that elbow. Originally went on the DL with an elbow flexor strain.
A local guy from the New York area, and he's had a really good career. Hit sharply to Didi. There's one. And there's 2, a 6-4-3 double play as Gregorius shows soft hands there to start the double play. No runs a hit and nobody left on base. We go to the 5th, 10-4 Yanks. Bob, so obviously a big game for the Nets. They can go to 2-0 down in that series if they don't rally late. On the Bigelow T scoreboard, Yankees lead 10-4. Top of the 5th inning, another pitcher in for the Tigers. It's Ian Kroll. In yesterday's game, he allowed a home run to Chris Young and Stephen Drew, and that was in a third of an inning of work. So now he'll face A-Rod. A-Rod, Teixeira, and McCann.
Big series down in Tampa Bay. Alex Rodriguez has been kind of silent here. Had some decent at bats. Got a hit last time up. To see him get going again.
.271, 4 homers, 11 ribbies. Walked 11 times as well. So 13 hits and 11 walks, 24 times on base. And he scored 10 runs. A 3-2 count.
Well, the hitter will tell you all you need to know. If you watch Alex Rodriguez, watch where he's going after this pitch. Into the dugout? Nope. Okay.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much. Take another hack.
And the pitch. And A-Rod walks. 12th walk of the year. Now, after that pitch, John, as a catcher, you talking without turning around saying, really, where was that?
I think there's been a lot of talking going on this whole ball game with Avila behind the plate. Tight strike zone. We've been talking about it all night. I'm sure those two guys had plenty of conversations.
And the key is not turning around.
Yeah, if you don't turn around, then obviously it's not going to be a problem. Nobody really knows what's going on.
So even if you're not turning around, you can say bad things as long as you're facing center field.
Well, I mean,
like you're the worst umpire of all time. Would that get you thrown out?
That might get you thrown out. Yes.
Looking at him, looking at the dugout, you're gone. Doesn't matter where you're looking when you say that.
Now, John, would you know about umpires like families and stuff? Like, would you turn around, hey, Jerry, how's Joni and the kids?
I always felt like the catchers had relationships like that.
We know you didn't.
God, what are you two talking about the family picnic back here? I'm trying to get a hit.
Now, my conversations a lot of times were things like, don't let O'Neill get in your head before he comes up to the plate. Don't let this guy beat you.
Nice. Oh. I mean, even as a catcher, you're supposed to have a relationship with these umpires, obviously, because you want the calls. And this, there's just some umpires you just don't get along with as well as others. It's just the way it is.
There are some umpires I went back there and said, I'm not even going to bother tonight because I'm not even going to try.
Right.
And other guys, you go back there, a nice relationship for the first couple innings, and then things get a little tense when you don't get a pitch where you want it.
Now, Paul, was there an umpire that you really liked?
Oh, there were a lot of umpires.
Give me one that you really liked.
Randy Marsh, one of the nicest guys that walked the earth. He was a great umpire,
and
too.
Never argued with him.
No, because he was a hitter's umpire, too. He called strikes over the plate.
Grounded to short. There's a double play. Let's go back to Bob Lorenz, see what he has to say. Bob? Thank you, Bob. Now, John, you were down there doing the games with Kenny. Kevin Cash seemed like he's in over his head. He's only 37 years old. What was your take?
No, we both had the same take that they'd gotten off to a good start, 6-4, before the Yankees went in there and beat him up a little bit. But no, seemed very comfortable. Obviously Tom Foley is bench coach, is a veteran and great baseball guy. So no, he seemed like he's on top of things.
Boy, that's very young, man. It's 37. They must have seen a lot in him when they had him in for the interview.
Ausmus is in his 40s, right?
And usually when you get your first big league job, it's usually with a bad team.
Yeah.
Brad Ausmus landed with this one. So 0-2 on McCann, who's 2 for 3 tonight.
Traded for that guy.
You did?
Yeah.
Catcher for catcher?
He was in San Diego. I was in Detroit. I gladly left Detroit and went to San Diego. I think I worked out for my end of things.
Ausmus is 46. Short right field. They get McCann, and that'll do it here in the 5th. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. We're halfway through. It's 10-4 Yanks. Afternoon matinee on Yes as Masahiro Tanaka gets the start for the Yankees, looking to tame the Tigers in the series finale. Pre-game coverage on Yes begins at 12:30 with the Tri-State Ford pregame only on Yes. All right, we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Yankees lead 10-4. John, you were in Tampa when Tanaka pitched, and on TV he looked great. Well, what did you see?
Well, I actually didn't see that game because
that's right. It was Saturday.
was doing that game. So I only saw the highlights, but what I saw from that game, he reminded me of what he looked like the first half of last year, in the fact that he was throwing off speed early and throwing some fastballs by some people late. The velocity was a little better and the location was fantastic.
Kinsler wraps one to left field. Running it down is Young. Well, let's look at some of the highlights of Masahiro Tanaka on that Saturday in St. Pete. Throwing strikes and being aggressive.
Location on the outer half. A little better velocity. But I think the greatest thing you can say, that's what I remember last year, you know, that finish blowing some people away on the outer half.
A lot of fastballs there. Yeah. They wasn't using that split finger to get everybody to strike out.
But that was a difference maker with him. I mean, his split finger.
Oh, absolutely.
It brings him to another stratosphere.
Yeah, but he knows how to pitch with it.
That one's popped up short right field.
Oh, what a play. Nope.
Teixeira could not hold on. Beltran could not get there. Teixeira was way out on the outfield grass. Had to make an over-the-shoulder stab, attempted, but could not hold on. They'll probably give him a hit.
Teixeira went a long way for that. And, you know, because of some of the shifts, you know, the second baseman not in play on this.
What about Beltran?
Yeah, you know what? As a right fielder, you've got to come in 100%. It looks like he almost expected Teixeira to have that ball. I mean, obviously the right fielder's job to call the Teixeira off, get him out of the way.
So that scored a hit. Here is Victor Martinez.
Getting back to Tanaka, I said he knows how to pitch with that split finger, and another great look by the bid by Teixeira on Yesmo. Would have been an amazing play. But Tanaka can show you the split early in a count, whereas a hitter you have to think about it, and then all of a sudden the fastball's by you when you're looking for it. So he kind of knows when to pick his spots with 2 strikes.
You know, I didn't see opening day, and I know his line was not good. Was it his split finger? Was it velocity? What was it?
I don't think he had anything working that day.
Yeah,
right,
it was a lot of off-speed pitches. You know, yeah, everything just didn't look right.
Velocity wasn't right. Two and one. Warren at 88 pitches. I think that's the number that Price left on.
This is that magical 5th inning, too. As a starter, you want to get through so you're in line for that win.
Chopped up the middle. And a double play. 6-6-3 to end the inning. No runs a hit, no errors, and nobody left on base. Let's go to the 6th. 10-4 Yanks. Yankee Stadium on Tuesday, April 28th for one of the hottest collectibles of the season. It's Masahiro Tanaka bobblehead night, the first one in the 2015 collectible series presented by AT&T for the first 18,000 guests in attendance. Now for tickets, log on to Yankees.com, visit the Yankee Stadium ticket window, Yankees clubhouse shops, or call Ticketmaster at 877-469-9849. Carlos Beltran takes upstairs as we start the 6th inning. Paul, you got to move your shoulder in Tanaka's shot.
I'm trying to get. I thought he was throwing to me.
Did you like the snow today?
This guy throws every day up here. You know that?
It's an Iron Man. Yeah, somebody pointed out yesterday we had your bobblehead in the booth last year. That started a winning streak. If
That's
you remember.
right.
Yeah.
Whatever happened to that bobblehead? I think it's still in the booth.
I think it's on EK. Benjamin Moore scoreboard 10-4, top of the 6th.
Should I even ask what EK
I'm
is?
thinking the same
It's
thing.
when I sell things online. It's not eBay. It's when
EK, nice.
Game's a little long on you guys, isn't it?
Wow. Went right over my head last night with the Coldplay one, and tonight you're by me in the 5th inning.
Also, John, the chatter online is, why is your daughter having a prom on a Wednesday night? Isn't that odd?
It is a little odd, but I think the Pearl River School District likes the idea that they have to go to school tomorrow.
Gotcha.
I'll tell you what, if I had a prom on a Wednesday night, I'd be chapped. I mean, what do you got to go home and get ready for school, right?
Well, I don't know if they're coming home to get ready for school, but at some point they have to get ready for school. And you have to go there, and they take attendance and all that stuff. So,
what's the chance of 100% attendance tomorrow?
Probably not good, but Kristen Flaherty will be there tomorrow morning. That's all I'm concerned about right now.
Beltran pops that one up. Kinsler with the play. 1 down. So Carlos is 2 for 4 tonight. Headley 2 for 3 tonight. A couple of ribbies. Also reached on an E6. Scored a couple of runs.
You know what? I look out at the field and I'm shocked because it's pretty straight up. You know, we're so used to seeing all these crazy shifts now, and it's pretty much a traditional baseball. Here we go. Goes in center field, maybe shading a little to pull. Talking to Brad Ausmus, the manager of the Tigers before the series, was telling me they don't shift as drastically as everybody else around the league, but there are some hitters with the Yankees that you can't ignore the numbers and you have to shift against them.
That one's popped up. And Cabrera can't hold on.
Did everything right except make the catch, sliding right off of his glove.
Right there at the end, you'll watch, he slide, he takes his eye off the ball, and you lose it for just an instant. It doesn't hit the pocket.
You're Headley watching the flight of this ball. You're almost on your way back to the dugout.
Yeah.
Now when it's going to be caught, now you got another swing in you.
Swing and a miss. Headley down on strikes. 2 outs here in the 6th.
You know what, Mike, well, you look back at the way this game came about and the stats that we gave on Price last year, it won't be long before either the Tigers or the rest of the league say, you know, what are the Yankees, what have they picked up on Price that nobody else has? Because, I mean, those numbers are so radically different than the way he pitches against anybody else. And there are certain teams that find out certain things about pitchers.
Things like tipping pitches.
Yeah, that or, that
tendencies, whatever.
Always want to blame it on something because it doesn't make sense. You see one time, but, back to back and the numbers he's had basically the last couple of years, the Yankees their numbers are so much better than the rest of the league.
Two 2-0 on Gregorio Petit. 3-run double in the first, intentionally walked in the second, sack bunt in the fourth. So a perfect night for Petit. Three and one. And his perfect night continues, and that'll bring up Gregorius.
Tough back-to-back hitters. I'm going to apologize right now, Michael. Before the year's over, I'm going to drop an Ernie DiGregorio. I know it. Remember the old basketball player? Sometimes you get going in a play and you get so excited something just pops out. Doesn't happen to you, Mike. One word does to me sometimes.
Oh, it happens.
Wow. Look down at that foul ball was ricocheting off seats, everything else.
Ernie D played for Buffalo. They had an NBA team. Good player. So you think you call him Ernie D. Gregorius?
There you go.
Yeah,
something like that. I tell you what, obviously the game has something to do with it, but the city's not quite as live today. I mean, this is a big sports town. People love the Tigers, but I tell you what, the Red Wings, more Red Wings shirts, hats, TV, everything. You can't get away from it. They love hockey up there.
Well, Jim Price, the longtime radio broadcaster, also a member of the 1967 Tigers, is wearing a Red Wings, as you would say, toboggan on his head right now. Yeah, they're big in this town. It's hockey town.
Absolutely. Oh.
Ooh. Foul ball and then off of Avila.
And Avila has dealt with so many concussions. Anytime he takes one in the helmet, I'm sure the Tigers hold their breath. Didi gets out of the way, off the helmet.
Anytime you get knocked back, Flesh, you got to admit it. That's. You tell me that you really can't feel that much, huh?
You know what? I never had a problem with it, but this guy has dealt with so many concussions. It's been a major issue that anytime a foul ball goes off his helmet, I saw Brad Osmus get on the top step, kind of checking him out. It looks like he's going to be fine. We never thought about any of that stuff, or I never did.
The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Gregorius down on strikes. No runs, no hits, no errors, and one man left on base. Let's go to the bottom of the sixth. 10-4 Yanks. Yes, is brought to you in part by Benjamin Moore. Paint like no other. For a store near you, go to benjaminmoore.com. By your Tri-State BMW centers. And by RE/MAX. Nobody sells more real estate than RE/MAX. Now we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. That statue is the spirit of Detroit, and the Tigers have not had much spirit today when their ace starter got hammered by the Yankees in the first inning. The Benjamin Moore scoreboard, it's 10-4 Yanks. It's that sort of night. Right now the temperature at 37 degrees.
We're going back up. Spring's on its way. Wasn't it down to 36?
36?
Yep. Now McCann will have tomorrow off. And John Ryan Murphy will be behind the plate. Here's J.D. Martinez. Ground ball, Petit. One pitch, one out here in the 6th.
Michael, you mentioned behind the plate. I did some research on Brad Ausmus, manager of the Tigers, before this series. The guy went to Dartmouth, an Ivy League school, and had 1 B in the 4 years that he went there. Really? I mean, that's just like showing off. Right?
Now the rest were A's?
The rest were A's.
Wow.
And he also signed with the Yankees out of high school, but went to Dartmouth during the school year and only played for the Yankees minor league teams during the summer, which I thought was interesting.
Now, do you know the class he got the B in?
See, why does he have to do that to me? I thought I had
right
something,
on the spot.
And now he goes deeper.
That's pretty impressive, though. Nice story.
That's an A+ story.
Yeah.
All right, I'll just sit over here in the corner and
you won't.
watch a little baseball.
We'll reel you right back in here in a
How
minute.
how many B's did you ever get at G-Dub?
Well, the first semester I didn't get any B's. I got 3 C's, a D, and an F.
Really?
Yes, I did. A 1.4 academic probation, scholarship, and Jeopardy. That's why I'm so impressed with Brad Ausmus.
Wow.
That's pressure.
There's a base hit through the vacated right side. I mean, that's almost like being called to Dean Warmer's office.
What are you laughing at, O'Neill? What did you get in college?
The classes I went to, I did really well. Wow.
Now you had to turn it around,
yeah,
right?
it got better. Ended up graduating.
Was it just too much fun? Because you're very bright. There's no way that those reflect your mind.
I would say that I thoroughly enjoyed the fall of my freshman year.
Nice.
And I would also say that I had no idea how to study in college.
Okay.
So it was a big-time transition.
In college, don't you get the sense that you could do it? If you want to sink, you could sink. In high school, they're making you hand in homework. They're on you.
You know what I had a problem with? Okay, you read your syllabus. You have to read, 5 chapters or something like that. So I would go read the 5 chapters. I wouldn't remember any of it, but I did the work. I didn't take notes. I didn't highlight. I don't think Brad Ausmus had those problems.
Wow. Did you have a good first year with the baseball team?
Yeah, hit 340.
There you go.
Nice.
That's all that matters, right?
You got to make up somewhere, right?
Right.
Castellanos tonight is 0 for 2, but does have an RBI. Justin Wilson and David Carpenter getting ready for the Yankees. Adam Warren approaching 100 pitches.
And Adam only threw 74 pitches his last time out at Tampa. Only 4 innings in that game.
I'll tell you, Jerry Davis, he's not going to budge on that strike zone. It has not gotten larger.
Got to give Adam Warren some credit after that first inning, giving up 4. Settled down, only 5 hits, 4 runs.
Now, guys, I want to ask you this. We've talked a lot the last couple of days about hitting against the shift. Is this what Cespedes did? Or was that just a happenstance?
If you look at it, I mean, his hands stay inside the ball. I mean, he's not trying to pull it there. He didn't get around it and try to pull the ball there. He kind of hit it where it was pitched, and that's what I keep going over. If you're going to play a guy to pull with the shift, you got to somewhat pitch to it. And, you know, when you're throwing balls away and you've got him played to pull, that to me makes no sense. But, again, these guys get on the plate and they're quick enough to pull that outside pitch anyway.
So Castellanos down looking. Joe Girardi quickly out of the dugout. And at 99 pitches, Adam Warren is going to get some relief. Now, obviously, if the bullpen does its job, Adam will get the win. But the bullpen has to get 10 outs. And it starts right now against Alex Avila. Stick around as Warren departs. Three between the Nets and the Hawks as their first-round playoff series shifts to Brooklyn for a pivotal showdown at Barclays Center. Complete coverage starts at 2:30 with the Verizon Fios Nets pregame right here on Yes. The Nets lost to the Hawks tonight 96-91. So the Hawks have a 2-0 lead. They held home court, and now the series will shift to Brooklyn. So the Yankees will bring on the left-hander, Justin Wilson, to face Alex Avila. So Warren was given a 6-0 lead in the first. Walked 4 batters in the bottom of the inning, gave 4 of the runs back, but he settled down, didn't allow a run after that, and he leaves the game with a 10-4 lead. Although you can't say that that's really what you want out of your starter when you get him 6 runs in the first inning. Now you're leaving the bullpen to get 10 outs. And you play tomorrow afternoon, and then you don't have a day off this weekend either. Strike.
You notice anything about that, Michael? The scoreboard?
No.
It's not centered. The scoreboard should be over here. It's like cut off by the foul territory. Somebody messed up when they built the new stadium. Every time I came in here as a player, I'm thinking somebody messed up there. It's not centered where it's supposed to be.
Now, I know you're joking, but they did mess up.
I'm not joking.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, it's
over.
off.
It is off.
Absolutely.
And they realized it once it went up, and it would have been too expensive to move it.
See, Flash? Are you with me yet?
Remember, I got 3 C's at D and an F, so you got to explain this to me a little bit.
I was just looking at the highlights between the inning where during the pitching change, and they were showing the old stadium and the new stadium, and I'm just looking at the scoreboard. I'm like, the foul pole is cutting that thing in half almost. It's
I'm
just
told
not
it's
squared.
45 feet off. That's not a little mistake.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be 45 feet further toward left center.
Somebody messed up. See, it happens. You just build over your mistakes. You just build a circle around it.
You hit 244 at this park, so that really did bother you.
Yeah, see that? They hit a homer, though. I remember that. One.
Who was it against?
Brocale. Remember him?
Doug Brocale?
Yeah.
Swing and a miss. Wilson blows it by Avila, and that'll do it. No runs a hit, no errors, and one man left. We go to the 7th. 10-4 Yanks. Starting pitchers brought to you by Verizon Fios, the fastest, most reliable internet. Tanaka trying to go to 3-1. He has an ERA under 4. Anibal Sanchez has struggled in the early going, 1-2, 7.71. Remember, everybody, this is a matinee. Our coverage begins at 12:30 p.m. First pitch should be right around 1:10. So be here for that. Yankees will finish their long 10-game, 11-day road trip.
Boy, could end up on a really good note. I'll tell you that if they hold on to this game and have a good game tomorrow after sweeping Tampa Bay.
And after the way it started in Baltimore, losing 2 out of 3.
So Albuquerque comes in. He'll face the top of the Yankee order. He came in yesterday and really didn't seem like he had an idea where the ball was going. First pitch, and Ellsbury grounds to Cabrera, 1 away.
Yeah, Flash, we were even talking about that in the car on the way home. I mean, he threw 4 pitches and 1 at bat, 3 of them in the dirt, 1 of them to the screen. It just absolutely no clue of where his release point was.
And I've seen him before the same way when he was throwing a little bit harder and the stuff was a little better, but yesterday just completely lost. We talked about it last night. The bullpen for this Tiger club is going to have major question marks all year long.
This chiropractic telecast is presented by authority of the New York Yankees and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees.
Glad we had time to get that in tonight.
So am I. We don't want any reproduction without written consent. 2-2 count on Young. Young's 1 for 4 with a single and a run scored in the first inning. Right side and past a diving Kinsler into right field. Second hit for Young tonight.
He continues to do good things at the plate.
Paul, you mentioned early Joe Girardi watching against the right-handed pitching. Well, he's got to like this. 2 strikes is going the other way. Staying on a pitch, fighting it off the other way.
You know, as a player, you come every day and basically the opportunities are given, you know, that decide if you're not an everyday player, obviously, and you're not penciled in the lineup. It's just those opportunities that you get, the better you do, the more playing time you earn. And it's good to see a guy in that position that's come out, had a start like this, has helped this team. 4 home runs so far. Continue to put together good at-bats.
Count 1-1. Alex is 1 for 3 with a walk. Dunked a single to center field in the 3rd inning and walked in the 5th. Struck out in the 1st and fly to left in the 2nd.
Albuquerque has a lot going on the back of his jersey, doesn't he? Number 62, surrounded by his name. Tough to fit on the back of that jersey.
That's armpit to armpit. Count 3-1.
You really have not seen Alex Rodriguez kind of cheat on a pitch tonight and really try to unload on one. And you might right here, at this point in the game, look for something in. The ball's way off the plate.
13th walk of the year for Alex. And here is Teixeira. He's 0 for 3 tonight with a walk and a run scored. And a strike. High fly ball, right field. Going back, Martinez on the track at the wall. See ya! A 3-run home run for Mark Teixeira. His 5th home run of the year, and the Yankees lead 13-4.
Teixeira's had a pretty good series here. Home run in game 1. We're going to run last night. 3-run homer tonight.
Right before that pitch, I'm looking at the line score here for Mark. A line drive to left field. He walked. 0 for 3 going into that at bat. This will change your night quickly. A deep bomb to right field. 3-run shot.
Pitch outside to McCann.
Pitch is up and he kind of works underneath it.
Very easy with that swing to just pop that ball up, but he got enough on the barrel to just drive it out of here. I mean, he's got that natural kind of drop and that home run swing. Well, he didn't miss it.
Usually you see fastballs up in the zone like that, and you see hitters really try to chop down on it.
Stay on top of it.
Mark kind of works underneath it, gets it up in the air with some backspin.
At the point where you might see Brad Ausmus starting to get some of these guys out of the game, getting ready for that day game tomorrow. Good pitch there.
2 outs.
You might be able to say the same thing for Joe Girardi and his club.
He's given a couple guys nights off anyway, with Price starting the game and you know, you get a couple of your regulars days off and you end up, you know, you're in a good position to win the game, obviously. I mean, it's just a bonus for a manager. I mean, Joe Girardi truly believes in resting guys throughout the year. He thinks it really comes back to help them late in the year, late August, September.
Let's take another look at the home run swing. This replay brought to you by New York Presbyterian, the official hospital of the New York Yankees. Amazing things are happening here. So 5 home runs now and 13 runs batted in for Teixeira. 1-2 to Beltran. Carlos 2 for 4, the RBI triple in the second. He singled to center and scored in the fourth. And he struck out in the first. Popped up the second and the sixth.
I can almost assure you, you know, we've continued to harp on how good an offensive team Detroit has, and you know they're going to get Verlander back. They're one of the premier teams in all of baseball. This is not the bullpen you're going to see all year. If they have a weakness, it's in that bullpen, and you know, their front office is good enough to plug some holes out there. Now with Joe Nathan probably gone, you know, it gives you, you know, that freedom of going out and getting something you really need.
Two and 2 on Beltran. They have the shift against him. 3 infielders on the right side. Now 3 and 2. Line and right at Kinsler for the final out of the 7th. But the Yankees get 3 runs on that swing. Mark Teixeira with his 5th home run of the year now has 13 ribbies, and the Yankees have 13 runs. Detroit, it's really been all Yankees, and if the Yankees can hold on until the 9th inning, they'll be over 500 for the first time all year. Time for the game summary brought to you by your local Nissan dealer. 13-14-1 for the Yanks, 4-5-2 for the Tigers. Petit, a 3-run double. Teixeira, a 3-run home run. David Price again struggles against the Yankees. Last just an out into the 3rd inning, gave up 10 hits, 8 runs. First inning, 20 batters, 10 runs, 52 minutes for both teams. Justin Wilson came on to get the final out of the 6th, and he's out for the 7th and deals low to Jose Iglesias. And a strike. One. The 3-1. There's a strike. The home run by Mark Teixeira, the Yankees' 21st of the year.
Guess they kept their lead, huh?
Don't know what the others did just yet. We'll have to check on that. And the 3-2. He walks Iglesias to start the 7th. And we throw it back to the studio where Bob Lorenz has more information. They just completed a very emotional series there.
A little heated.
A little heated. Yesterday between Adam Jones and Jose Bautista. And I wonder, guys, when that happens in a series and there's that kind of angst and yelling at each other, do you worry the next day that somebody's going to get punked? Do you go into at bats thinking, I wonder who's going to get it?
I mean, there are times where there's more talk about it than usually it happens. I mean, we saw what just happened a few weeks ago or a week ago with Kansas City and Oakland, but you know, there was an apparent thing that caused it. Usually the jawing, the screaming, the yelling, by the next day it's pretty much over.
Although I have been in some pitcher-catcher meetings before a game where the conversation was, you know what, if we have a spot, we're going to take advantage of it. You know, you don't go into the game saying this guy's getting it at this point, but we'll pay attention to how the game goes, and there might be a little retaliation. How about Bautista? I mean, throw pitcher's behind him, and then he just hits an absolute rocket.
Yeah. And then he got hurt, did he?
Well, we saw. I didn't realize that with a bad shoulder.
2 balls, 2 strikes. We're in the bottom of the 7th. Runner on first. Yankees up 13-4. Did either of you ever go up to the plate afraid that you're going to get hit, that you were next in line, that you're going to get plunked?
You know what? When you're hitting third and you figure somebody's getting hit and the first guy makes it out, the second guy makes it out, you're like, all right, let's just get it over with. And there are times where you get that feeling. And there were times where it didn't happen. There were times it did.
How about you, John?
I was involved in a game in Tampa Bay where Pedro Martinez was throwing a no-hitter, and we were in this throwing at Brian Daubach and Nomar Garciaparra and a little bean brawl early on. And I walked up to the plate in the 5th inning and looked down at Veritek, and I said, I guess I'm getting one in the ribs. And he looked back at me and he said, if you are, I don't know anything about it. Okay. So I step back in the box and I look out there like, well, what does that mean? I still don't know if I'm getting drilled or not. So I was on my heels a little bit, but Pedro had a no-hitter going to that point and ended up going to the 9th inning. We broke it up, but I'm convinced if he didn't have a no-hitter, I was going down at that point.
And I bet you did not get a hit at that point.
I was over at that point. You must have really did well in your college classes.
No, but when you go up there thinking somebody's going to drill you, it's very hard to hit.
And somebody like that.
Yeah.
If he's drilling you, it's usually not going to be in the hip.
No.
Now, have you ever asked the catcher and he goes, yep, you're getting it?
That was the only time I ever asked the catcher.
Would you ever tell somebody he was getting it?
No. I would keep my mouth shut.
Fly ball center field. Ellsbury makes the play. Now this is a famous Yankee brawl of the past where Tino got drilled in the back by Armando Benitez. Graham Lloyd throwing some heat. And Paul actually is playing peacekeeper somewhere in there.
Oh. Yeah, that was you know, if you're not in the middle of things, you know what? If you're Tino, you know, yeah. But if you're not the guy that got hit, it's very hard to take your emotions out there and just start throwing haymakers, you know?
Graham Lloyd had no problem.
Yeah, no problem. He got a head start from the bullpen to get his heart rate up.
Well, I tell you what, though, you see something like that, it has to bring a team together when bullpen guys are coming out throwing haymakers.
I'll never forget. We were in Seattle, and remember we had a big brawl. They hit me, and we had a big brawl. And the next day, well, Straw was always, you know, he would come out and he would back you. The next day he comes hobbling in. He looked over. He's like, "O'Neill, you got to stop. I'm too old for this stuff, man."
Strangely, always seemed to get knocked down against Seattle. I wonder why.
Yeah, it was just coincidence, I think.
Swing and a miss. 2-2. Straw was in the middle of that. No, Oriole brawl too.
Yeah.
Grounded up the middle. Gregorius steps on the bag, and that will do it here in the 7th. No runs, no hits, no errors, and one man left on base. We go to the 8th. Of the 8th inning here at Comerica Park. It's been all Yankees from the very beginning. New pitcher for the Tigers is Jabba Chamberlain. Came in and got that big double play ground ball off the bat of Jacoby Ellsbury in game 1, or the Yankees could be looking at taking their 6th game in a row. That was a tough loss, but they bounced back last night to win 5-2 and leading this one. Jabba, this will be his 4th game. Jabba had that big, thick beard last year. Shaved it off, and looks like he's trying to grow it again. Took Jabba a long time to get a job this year. He waited right till the very beginning of spring training before the Tigers said, okay, come back here. So the great promise he once showed with the Yankees really has not brought him the success that many had predicted.
Remember the excitement of his first game? It was in Toronto, right? And I mean, you just could not wait. That's all you heard about was the lightning fastball and the great curveball. And, you know, fans were excited to see him pitch every time he ran in from the bullpen.
Hyundai scoreboard 13-4 Yanks. New catcher is McCann. Avila has moved over to first base. There's a couple of changes for the Tigers. We'll try to get them all for you. So Cabrera is done for the night. I believe Andrew Romine is in left field. So he takes over for Cespedes. And Hernan Perez takes over at second base. Looks a little cold. Castellanos is playing short right field with the shift on. There's Perez. Headley lost one to left center. Romine will get a chance. Away. Job had some great moments as a Yankee. And there's a debut that Paul was talking about. He just threw heat. Then the midgets attacked him in that game in Cleveland in the playoffs. And that was some of the emotion he brought to the party. You know, you talk to Joe Torre, and he says that one of his regrets as Yankee manager is that he did not pull that team off the field in Cleveland.
The midgets.
Yep.
We spent the night down in the tunnel
Yes,
together that night.
We never got attacked because we were like watching
Right.
because we had to go on the field right after the game, and we were watching on the TV and
couldn't figure out what was going on.
What's happening? A lot of those midgets were left over in that beard.
Wow, that's a look right there. Isn't it?
Well, that whole transition from reliever to starter and then back to reliever, it just kind of never worked out as a starting pitcher.
Then he blew out his elbow. And then he snapped his ankle on the trampoline. The 0-2. Hernan Perez over to Avila. 2 down. And that brings up Gregorius. That 2-run double in the 4th inning might go a long way for him. We'll see if he can build off that. He did strike out his next time up. He's 1 for 3 with a walk tonight. Average at 209. Has committed an error at short. Garrett Jones on deck for the Yankees. He will pinch hit for Ellsbury. We're in the 8th. It's 13-4 Yanks.
Well, that's one thing we saw from Job all the years with the Yankees, too. Would throw his breaking ball anytime in any count. 2-0 slider to Didi Gregorius hitting 9th.
On the short hop, Perez gets Gregorius as the Yankees go down in order against their former teammate Job Chamberlain, and we go to the bottom of the 8th. To the final out for the WB Mason postgame as Bob Lorenz and Jack Curry analyze tonight's action. Plus, Meredith Morakovitz has the reaction from the clubhouse and also Joe Girardi's manager's report. It's all coming up right here on Yes. Well, we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. The Yankees 13 and the Tigers 4. Tigers scored their 4 runs in the first. They have not done anything since. Garrett Jones takes over in left field. And Young moves over from left to center. New catcher for the Yankees is John Ryan Murphy. And the new first baseman is Brian McCann. David Carpenter is the new pitcher. And he deals a ball to Rajay Davis. Pinch hitting for Victor Martinez. This really right now has a Lakeland feel to it.
Yeah, it does.
You know,
and
I
that's
know
where the Tigers train.
Brian McCann has played first base before. We saw that last year, but it's an interesting transition when you have the gear on all night long and then you go out there and field some ground balls. I've only had to do it once in my career, and I never wanted to do it again.
It's amazing how you go to a different place and it's just like it's a
you don't know
game.
what. Yeah, you just don't feel comfortable.
Hyundai scoreboard 13-4 Yanks.
97 coming out of the bullpen. Huh?
Carpenter has a good arm. It's, you know, the way this game is right now, 13-4. Everybody out there is just saying, throw the ball over the plate and let's get out of here.
Up the middle, knocked down by Petit, and the ball trickles into center field, so a pinch hit base hit for Rajay Davis.
It's going to be scored a base hit. You can see it's off the glove of Petit, not able to hold on. It scoots into center field. Covered some ground to get there, just couldn't finish up the play.
Another one of those guys with the opportunity trying to, establish that he belonged here. Brendan Ryan back in rehab down in Tampa.
High fly ball, right field. Beltran makes the play.
Whenever I was part of games like this, you'd sit in the dugout and you'd always think, who's the guy, or when are they going to take out the regular guys, and who's going to be taken out of the game? But Beltran's still in the game in right field now. I'm sure he was thinking, you know what, I might get the last couple innings off. No, it's Teixeira. McCann moves to first. Murphy goes behind the plate. Ellsbury gets some time off.
Ellsbury's been running around. And, Beltran's had a couple days off. McCann's got tomorrow off. And so Teixeira will be in the lineup tomorrow.
And Ellsbury's got a chest that he's got to put some ice on, right? All the way back at the beginning of the game.
Yeah, that was a weird play. So I don't know if I've ever seen that before.
Well, you got to be honest, Paul. Some of the games that you were in like this, you'd be thinking, all right, come on, Skip, get me out of here.
Oh, Joe Torre was so good at it, too.
Was he?
Oh, yeah. He could almost read you know, guys that are having good games, they can finish it out. They have no problem. It's the guys that, you know, are 1 for 4, kind of struggling, this and that, just could need those extra couple innings to get ready for tomorrow. Very good at reading that. You know, it's important. There are certain games that, you know, if you get out, believe it or not, you know, a couple innings can make a big difference when you come out tomorrow.
Going down on strikes is Romine.
This got a 9-game hitting streak on the line right here. 0 for 37 degrees, 13 to 4.
Still matters.
You got to see what he's made of right here. The guy throwing 96.
That's right. For the most part, at least you know what you're getting, right? Michael, I hope you sleep better. You know, we're so close up here. We know exactly what's going on. He told me he didn't sleep well last night.
Didn't have a good night's sleep?
A little worried about you.
Tossed and turned. Looked at the clock, 5 o'clock, still not sleeping.
Isn't that terrible?
Awful.
He must have had an 0 for 5 last night with a couple of punch outs.
We weren't happy with our performances last night.
That broadcast felt like an 0 for 5. This one seems like an 0 for 8.
Don't even try to go to bed then.
I guess not. 2-2.
Your little ones good sleepers?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Knock on wood.
I remember Allie, our youngest. She was born right before spring training. She was the only baby we had that just screamed and cried for no reason. Here I am trying to get ready for spring. You know how tired you get in spring training. And she just wants to light it up at midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. I felt so sorry for my wife.
So Allie takes after you.
So sorry I went in the other room and went to bed.
Castellanos goes down on strikes. We're going to go to the ninth. 13-4 Yanks. What was the game changer? Well, T-Mobile presents it.
The T-Mobile game changer happened about 3.5 hours ago. Jacoby Ellsbury gets hit by a pitch to lead it off. Young gets a hit. Brian McCann flips one the other way. Headley chips in. The snow starts coming down. Petit drives one to left center field. Jacoby Ellsbury, a little bit of the same. David Price, a tough first inning. The Yankees put up 6 runs. That was your T-Mobile game changer. Happened a long time ago.
Yeah, it seemed like last winter when that snow was coming down.
Here's Garrett Jones. Tom Gorzolani, the new pitcher for the Tigers. And Jones pops it up. Hernan Perez puts it away. 1 pitch, 1 out. Jason Shreve is up for the Yankees in their pen. Told you Shreve is up. Remember, he had pitched in that 19-inning game and pitched so well, and for just a long time, that they sent him down. So he had to be down there 10 days, and then once that was up, they brought him back. Grounded sharply and past the diving Castellanos down the left field line. Young rounds first. He's going to go to second, and it's his 3rd hit of the night. He's 3 for 6.
Hits just keep on coming. It doesn't matter if it's a righty, you flip the other way, last at bat, or a lefty, which he usually is going to get most of his at bats against. Off speed down and in, able to keep it fair.
Good solid at bats, good swings. That ball's off the plate away, still able to get the barrel on it, hit it hard. Flash, I just thought your daughter's going to make it home from the dance before you get out of here. Easily. Huh?
There's A-Rod, and he grounds one to third. Castellanos across the diamond for the second out as Young stays put at second.
You know what? She's got to get up early for school, and I got to get up early to do this day game tomorrow. So
what time are we coming out tomorrow, boys?
We've got a 1 o'clock start, so you should be here about 9.
9?
Yeah, work the clubhouse, talk with Joe. You know, Joe's going to be here about 8.
You know, in a 4-game series, if you don't know the scouting report by now, I think we're good. We can probably get here about 12:45 tomorrow. No problem. In-depth scouting report, absolutely. Here bright and early.
Here's John Ryan Murphy, his first at bat.
You get the pitchers tomorrow. I'll take the hitter.
Okay.
And I'll do the play-by-play.
Really?
Yep. I'm ready.
You're going to mix that in tomorrow?
Yeah. Then a little talk show after the game. A full day. There's a strike.
I'll tell you what, though, all kidding aside, I mean, you come in here, you steal a game last night, and all of a sudden Price is pitching, and you know you're in the 9th inning, you're up 13-4. You got to feel pretty good about what your team did today offensively.
I mean, when you look at a series and you have David Price in Game 3, you're thinking, all right, this is going to be a tough one, and then you have your ace going in Game 4, and now all of a sudden you're right, lined up to take 3 out of 4 possibly.
A lot of times throughout the season you play guys at the right time, and it just might be, I mean, you you came in here, the Tigers' record, what,
10-2.
10-2
when we got here.
You know, maybe they were just on the time to turn it off for a while. You know, you get 3 out of 4 here and get out of here. What
and don't
a
have to
great
come back.
series. Absolutely. Don't have to play here anymore.
And also, Paul, I mean, even after last night's loss, they're 11-3. Coming into this game, they're tied with the Mets and the Royals for the best records in baseball.
Yeah.
So you slapped around, record-wise, the best team in baseball and their best pitcher. So tomorrow's a big game.
Yeah, I tell you what, 4-game series are so hard, you know, to not split. And, you know, now you finish this game out, you got an opportunity to win 3 out of 4 on the road. Tomorrow is a big game.
Chop to short. They get Murphy, and we will go to the bottom of the 9th inning. No runs a hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. Yankees lead 13-4. All on Yes is brought to you in part by Heineken. Open your world. By People's United Bank. See what know-how can do. And by your Tri-Honda dealers. Hurry to your local Tri-Honda dealer for great deals on the 2015 models. Downtown Detroit, that's where we are. And it's been all Yankees. The game started, it was snowing. It seemed like the world was turned upside down, and the Yankees completely dominated David Price and the Tigers. 6 runs in the first inning, and really, Yankee fans have been dancing since then. And now the Yankees will bring on Chase and Shreve to try to close this out. Adam Warren was the recipient of all those runs, and he went 5 2/3, turned it over to Justin Wilson, who won an inning and a third. David Carpenter pitched a scoreless 8th, and now Chase and Shreve will pitch in his 3rd game. Looks like Chase's hat is really tight.
Mark, got the Peyton Manning forehead.
Yeah. Pitch outside to Avila. So tomorrow it's a 1 o'clock start. Coverage starts at 12:30 on Yes. First pitch should be right around 1:10. Anibal Sanchez, who's been struggling early against Masahiro Tanaka, as the Yankees will try to take 3 of 4 from the Tigers. There's a ground ball to short right field. Petit is there. 1 out.
That down now. That's just old. Ground ball to short right field. Huh?
It's a new world.
Yeah, absolutely.
Here's Iglesias. 1 for 2 with a walk. And a strike. So on this road trip, the Yankees lost 2 out of 3 to the Orioles, swept the Rays, and now have taken 2 of the first 3 against the Tigers if they get 2 more outs. And if they win tomorrow, that's a pretty impressive long road trip.
Well, you think about it, when they showed up in Tampa Bay, they were 3-6.
Yep. And if they win tonight, they'll be over 500 for the first time all year.
But there was definitely a feeling that Friday night in Tampa Bay, like this really could get out of hand.
Well, the paid attendance, 27,389, and not many.
Few of them left, don't you think?
Not many have stayed. But an A-Rod fan is here.
Yeah. Whoa.
A late hack as Iglesias goes down on strikes. 1 out to go.
Oh, it was almost in the catcher's mitt when he tried to foul that off. Might be in between pitches there a little bit, huh?
Or it's 10:42, or losing 13-4, and it's 37 degrees.
I'm not quite seeing it right now. So on that release point, it didn't look good. Had a little break on it, though.
That is a die-hard Tiger fan right there.
Yeah, but did you see that he had a Jets thing on the inside? I was trying to figure that out. So there's Jets going on in the inside.
There's a big pocket of fans that root for the Tigers and the Jets.
Is that right?
Yeah, people don't know about them, but they're very dedicated.
They must be to make blankets, right? There must be a lot of them.
And that is the ball game. It is finally over as the Yankees pummel the Tigers by a score of 13-4. Adam Warren gets the win. Yankees get a lot of hits. A feel-good story for the Yanks as they've taken 2 of the first 3. Another good game for Chris Young, and the Yankees will head to tomorrow afternoon and try to take 3 out of 4 from the Tigers. 13-15-1 to 4-6-2.